Good Lord Almighty, what the hell was that all about? Thank you for joining me. I'm Boston Brian. This is Blunt Politics. Make sure you hit that like button for the 14th fucking time, I'm sure. I know every time that when the music starts and I can hear it double in my ear, it's just never a good thing. It's never a good start to anything. So please make sure you smash that like button. Again, I apologize to the people on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram for having to start over about 19 times. But the second time I tried starting over, I also heard double. So it took basically restarting everything. So I appreciate your patience. And again, thank you so much for hitting the like button for the 14th time. Thank you so much. Let me see here. Do we got any? Let me bring in the chat. Do we got any mods? We got any mods this evening? I feel like I'm modless. I feel naked. Yeah, thank you, Hal. As I was saying before, thank you so much, Hal, for the raid. I do appreciate it. I apologize. I think I probably fucked that up by having to shut down the stream. So I do apologize about that, but I do appreciate the sending the sparkles over here. I really do. But I'm not seeing any. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, everybody. What's up, Josh? What's up, Batui? Paula, Francesca, how are you? Sarasota, what's going on? Locata, Mama, how are you? MK, DB, what's going on? Croc, what's going on? Hi, Mel. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. What's up, Jimbo? It's all Hal's Raid's fault. No, it wasn't. It's not Hal's fault at all. Sometimes sometimes it just happens when I start the system. Like I'll hear the music start, and then like 15 seconds later, I'll hear the music start again, which usually tells me that I'm going to hear myself double in my ear, which is weird that you guys can't hear it. I still haven't figured out that part of it. But anyway, good Lord, there's a lot to get to. I guess Donald Trump found 50 million condoms, or was it $50 million for condoms, or was it? I'm not sure what it was. He found a lot of stuff for condoms, I think, is what Caroline Levitt wants us to believe. We're going to be taking that. I wish I could show you. I mean, just the amount of stuff alone that I have marked for us to talk to today. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 stories that I've marked out that I feel like that I wanted to talk about. Chances of me getting through all those? Absolutely not. Not a chance. 0% chance. Thank you, Becky. Thank you. Hey, Karma. What's up, Cosmic Rose? And again, Mel, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm sorry. Either the mods got lost in the 7 times that I had to start over, or everybody's sick tonight. But thank you so much, Mel, for hopping up. I appreciate it. I know you got a ton on your plate right now, so I do appreciate it. And again, thanks, Hal. I appreciate it. Thank you for setting the sparklers over here. And I'm sure everybody enjoys watching Hal. And what a Wednesday lineup. I feel like there's a ton of good people on Wednesdays. You know, I mean, just hopping from Hal to my show should be a good way to spend a Wednesday evening. But there's so much that I wanted to cover. I don't even know where to start. That's the problem. Never know where to start. Let's see here. Where should we start? We could obviously we could talk about the federal aid, the lawsuit, and the freeze. Let's do this one. We'll start with this one. Let me just make sure I can put this on the screen. Make sure the sound is okay for you guys. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. Damn McDonald's commercials. Gets me every time. Worms of whale juices. What? Hell, it's great. I know. Yep. And also, I watched the hearing today, the confirmation hearing, RFK Jr.'s confirmation hearing. And Jesus Christ, did that man get embarrassed? I mean, especially with his family sitting there and, him having to talk about how A, they're vaccinated, but B, how he went on shows to say that he wishes they were never vaccinated. I mean, the guy contradicted himself many, many times tonight. And clearly this is just never going to load for me. Things are it's going good so far. It's going good. Here we go. Here we go. Let me see if I can make this big. Let me see if I can present it for you guys, and then we'll get on our way. Just to fill you in a little bit on what the hell's been going on. I know everybody's been kind of up in the air about what the freeze actually meant, or what what was wrapped up in it, what was encompassed in the freeze, and there was a lot of shit, right? I mean, this was a really hectic time for a lot of people yesterday, let's just say, where they didn't know what the hell was going on. I mean, when you cut, funding for school lunches for kids, for Meals on Wheels for senior citizens. Hey, Sheldon, thank you so much. RFK did get destroyed. Absolutely, right? And the problem is he's so goddamn confident about it. And if anybody that watched the hearing, you heard in the hearing how one of the Republican senators was complimenting RFK on how much time he spent with the senators and how he sat through hours and hours of hearings and testimony and questions and meetings with senators. And it's like, you'd think in all that time, like, it doesn't take us very long to take a look at RFK, to the things he said, even just about COVID. Remember, like, it was supposed to be this huge weapon that, didn't go after Ashkenazi Jews or Chinese people, or I don't even remember what the ridiculous shit was. I mean, put aside all the animal, like the cruel and weird and unusual shit he's done with, like, animal carcasses. I mean, that shit all aside, put aside the 20 times he's cheated on his wife, allegedly during the campaign run. His crazy views that he's espoused on podcast about how vaccines are causing more deaths than the actual diseases that they're meant to cure or help. I mean, this stuff is extremely dangerous, especially when we have, the H1, the H5N1, right? We got bird flu. At a time where Trump is not allowing our health agencies to communicate with not only each other, but with the public. So let's just take a look. Let me see. I'll put this on the screen here. I never did like that view. I don't know why it's even in the options. Probably better than that one, though. Definitely better than that one. There we go. All right, sorry. All right, here we go. Just a little bit. Tell us a little bit about what's been going on.
CNN has learned that the Trump White House has rescinded its freeze on federal aid. It comes after widespread confusion and conflicting messages on who would have been affected. Let's get right to CNN's Jeff Zeleny. Jeff, what are you hearing?
Boris, this is a dramatic and major reversal here at the White House, really encapsulating what has been a very confusing 40 hours or so. As you said, the White House, we are learning now, is ordering that this freeze on all programs be rescinded. We got word of this in yet another memorandum, not announced by the White House press secretary.
Sorry, it's also, like, extremely windy right now where I am, so I apologize if there's any like interruptions in the internet. I don't know if that had anything to do with maybe why the sound was off. Where's Jim Acosta? They tried to move Jim Acosta to fucking 3 a.m. I think they tried making him like fucking, what was it? Remember when the TV used to just go like blank at a certain time? Like the blue screen or whatever it was, or just like no programming from like 4 a.m. to fucking 4:45 or whatever the fuck it was. You know? Yeah, Soulcraft rescinded. The thing is, I tried saying that into my phone about 100 times today, and you cannot say rescinded with a Boston accent, I guess, to Siri and have her understand what the fuck you're saying. It's just not a word you can. We're not there yet. We're just not there yet with a Boston accent. But yeah, that's what Jim quit. Yeah, Jim quit again. Like I was saying, because I was joking around, because they moved him to they gave him a bunch of options, not a bunch, but they gave him options for different time slots. One of them was the midnight slot, and as far as I read, they even offered to fly him or move him to California to do the midnight slot, so that he was doing it at 9 o'clock in California as opposed to midnight on the East Coast, which is like, if you think about it, it tells you a lot about where our media is going. Oh, thank you, Independent, for becoming a new member. How are you? I appreciate you. Thank you so much, and I do recognize. I do recognize the name, so I don't think it's the first time that you've been around, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, but it is, yeah, Pocky. Yeah, they have a very there's like, it's probably maybe 20 words that Siri will not pick up in a Boston accent. Will not pick up in a Boston accent. But yeah, it tells you a lot about where the media is going, but where the heads of these corporations are taking their media corporations and what directions they want to go in, when they're losing some of the best talent that they have. When Mehdi Hassan was let go, obviously now Jim Acosta, was seeing it now. I mean, it says a lot when they're willing to bump or even lose some of the best talent on there. Probably just because of the opinions that they espouse on camera. Hey, Rachel, how are you? Hey, Jeffrey, what's going on? Hey, Carol. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Virginia. Make sure you guys hit the like button. There's also a join button just below me. So for $1.99, you can become a channel member and help this channel grow. I want to say thank you guys so much, especially to all the newbies in here. Again, I'm pretty sure I lost half the audience when I restarted 5 times, but that's okay. To anybody that's stuck around, to anybody that's new, thank you so much. We have surpassed 10,000 subscribers, which I think is a real feat on YouTube, right? Having done multiple platforms now, as far as TikTok and Twitter and Blue Sky, whatever the hell it is, Instagram, as far as video platforms, I'd say this was the most difficult and probably the most fulfilling to slowly grow and get to a certain milestone. So thank you guys. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot that you guys have stuck around, and it means a lot that I could get to that point, especially having this not be my full-time gig, right? So I don't get to spend the time and energy and resources that a lot of these other creators get to spend, on, diving into the news, subscriptions to different platforms and magazines and stuff, so you can, really be into it every single day, all day, soaking up the information, planning the show, building graphics, that type of stuff. So this is all done basically on a free time basis. So I really do appreciate it. But again, it's not an easy feat. It's probably ridiculously hard for me to try to explain to, somebody that hasn't tried it, but it's a lot different from platform to platform on how easy or hard or difficult it is to grow that platform and to keep it consistently growing. It is very, very hard. Watching from Australia, one of my faves, Brian. All right. Righto. Fair income. Appreciate that. Thank you, Jennifer. I really do. We're in Australia, in Perth. In Perth. Hey, Jenny Faye. Thank you so much. Let's see. RFK was snotty, tearing up, gross mess. How can anyone see him and think, yep, he's our guy? No way he should be in charge of anything health related except maybe tissue disbursement. Yeah, but the problem is, again, the Republicans are not voting with their actual brains and what they actually think, right? Like, again, if you were to ask these people, I don't know, before RFK Jr. teamed up with Donald Trump, right? Before, remember when they were going at each other? You know, they were throwing they were throwing insults at each other's way before they decided to team up. Like, if you were to ask these Republican senators what they thought of RFK at that point, right then they probably would have gave you the truth. But now, because the dear leader, the Führer, you know, the the supreme being, the supreme leader, you know, has teamed up with RFK. They feel it necessary to try to, you know, kind of kowtow and go against what they might believe to be in their best interests. And you know, that's why I think you see a lot of these people casting votes for, let's just say, unqualified human beings. I'll be nice. But yeah, let's just continue this. Sorry to get off on that tangent. Let's just continue a little bit of this. I have a lot to cover. There's so much to cover tonight. So hopefully I can get it all in.
Secretary or any official, but simply in a one-page document that was sent across the government, it says this. If you it says Memorandum M2513, that was the memorandum signed Monday night, is rescinded. If you have any questions about implementing the president's executive orders, please contact your agency general counsel. That is it. But what we do know is the White House was facing considerable backlash about the question and the impact that the freezing of these programs was having across the country. I'm told that they were hearing from a variety of Republican lawmakers as well.
It's not going to affect
they were,
Medicare.
Caught off guard.
It's not going to affect Medicare. Not a chance. It's not going to affect Medicare. I don't know why anybody would think that. I don't know why it would. Well, why is that a big deal? It's only how 72 million Americans get their health care, right? Not a really huge deal. And like I said, what else does it affect? School lunches, Head Start, Section 8 money, home heating assistant, Meals on Wheels. The Medicaid portals were locked all day yesterday. Again, and Trump just like that. And do you guys understand how much of an asshole this makes Donald Trump look like? Right? To this early in your fucking administration, and let me just pop in here. To this early in your fucking administration to cause such, what did I say? Medicare? I apologize. Medicaid, Fishbone. You're absolutely right. I knew I was going to get that wrong. I just knew I was going to get that wrong. As soon as I heard myself twice, I knew I was going to get that wrong. But thank you. I appreciate it. Like I said, the chat's always smarter than I am. Huh? Right? But do you understand how much an asshole you have to be to rescind? Like, I don't know what the record is for a president on risk, like in order to be rescinded, but this has to be up there. This has to be fucking up there, right? This is unbelievably fast for a president to not only cause such chaos, to have such a blatantly illegal order go out, stopping some of the most important fucking services that we have in our country, that that people rely on for healthcare, for food, right? For travel, for heating. Oh, it's all right. It's just the poor people. Don't worry about it. Like when Donald Trump had to fucking actually, specify when he was talking that, we're not just doing this just for the rich. We're trying to make this for everybody, not just the rich. When somebody has to specify that should tell you everything you need to know, right? Let's see here. This will be interesting. Red states rely on food stamps. Trump voters. Sorry, I lost it. Trump voters, they will be hating it. Well, that's what I mean. When you actually break down some of these policies, if not all of these policies that Donald Trump wants to put in place, the people that are going to be affected the most are the poorest people in the country, right? Statistically, the poorest people in the country, I believe, are from red states, right? Typically the areas that receive the most federal aid from blue states, I might add. So, the thing is now we're seeing, the price of eggs go up, right? So what happens? So when, let me see if I can pull this up. And I know we were doing this, and we're probably going to hop around a little bit tonight just because I have so much to cover. I'm going to try to cover maybe little bits in here and there and see if I can cover it that way. Because like I said, there's no way I'm going to be able to get to everything. But keep in mind, keep in the back of your head, Trump rescinding an order very quickly, right? And then where we've heard that before. Because let me see if I can find this. If I can't, oh, here we go. If I can't, then as soon as I'm done with this, I'm gonna show you how Donald Trump, when he was president, the last time, also rescinded one of the most radical orders probably ever put out by a president, and then rescinded in the history of the office of the presidency. So just give me a second to see if I can find this. Oh yeah, we'll also talk about, if I have time, the meteorologist that was fired. You hear about that? The meteorologist that was fired just for criticizing Elon. I want to thank Bob for becoming a new Patreon member at patreon.com/BostonBrian. I appreciate it, Bob. If you were watching, everybody can sign up there for as little as $5 a month. And again, for as little as $1.99 to become a channel member just below me. If not, do the free stuff. Love that just as much. Just as much it means. So let me see if I can find this. Let's see. Yep, that's his order that he rescinds. We'll also talk about his the trans military ban, Trump's executive order that bans transgender troops in the military. Trump spoke today about the Lake and Riley thing, so I want to take a look at that. So here's what I was talking about. This is Caroline Leavitt. Let's see if I can pull this up for you guys. Share this tab instead. We'll go back to this one because I think I like it. I think I like it. So this is Caroline Leavitt trying to, say that this is not a recession of federal funding freeze. It is simply a recession of the OMB memo. Again, what? That's exactly what we're talking about. Like literally the message that you put out, you're now rescinding, right? That's what we're talking about. Let me see here. Just unbelievable, these people. Unbelievable. There's so much to show. There really is. Like everything they say is, oh, Lizzie dog, let's go. I'm waiting any moment for my veteran disability benefits to be gone any moment. Love you, boss Brian. I've been watching you a long time. Appreciate your important voice. Congrats on 10K. Thank you, Lizzie dog. Very, very nice of you. But geez, again, if we think if we're worried about the disabilities and and worried about where they're going, I'd rather just I thank you, but I'd rather almost you make sure that you're comfortable and have a cushion just in case some radical stuff happens. I always have that. It's always that give and pull with me on obviously I know I have to ask the crowd for their support, but at the same time hearing the stories that and the positions that some people are in when they do donate it, it's kind of it tears at me. So Lizzie dog, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. But make sure you're taking care of yourself, okay? Make sure you're in the right position. Make sure you have a plan. Make sure make sure you're doing everything you need to do to make sure that you're taken care of, just in case the worst things happen. All right. Let's see here. Goddamn, having to start over threw me all off. You know what I mean? That means I had to start everything over. Let's see, we got that one. This statement's not a recession. Wonder if I can find it just on this. Let's see. I'm going to spell it wrong too. I always do. Bear with me. Oh, bear with me. Blames. I type like I'm in third grade again, I feel like. See if I can just find this video real quick. Yes, there it is. This might just be... All right, stop. All right, so I'm going to share this tab instead. This is what I was looking for. Sorry it took so long. I do apologize. I'm not always the quickest on the draw when it comes to the tech side of it. All right, so this is Caroline Leavitt, and I just wanted to play this real quick. It's a real quick clip, only about a minute 34. But it's funny that when the price of eggs or gas or groceries in general go up under Biden, right? When they went up under Biden due to the economic starvation and the economic problems posed in our country by COVID and also around the world, Biden got blamed for that, right? So Trump blamed Biden for that. But now that Trump is in office and that gas is on the rise and egg prices have skyrocketed, somehow Caroline Leavitt and the Trump administration are also going to blame the Biden administration? Somebody's going to tell me how that works, bro? How does that happen? When he's in office, he gets blamed, but when you're in office, he gets blamed again? I don't see how that works. But let's hear Caroline Leavitt try to explain it.
You mentioned the inflation executive order the president signed, but egg prices have skyrocketed since President Trump took office. So what specifically is he doing to lower those costs for Americans?
Really glad you brought this up, because there is a lot of reporting out there that is putting the onus on this White House for the increase.
I heard this and I was shocked, right? When she was like, when I heard, I'm really glad you brought this up, my first reaction was, what? How are you happy that he brought this? And my second reaction was, oh, okay, they must have a dandy, a whopper. They must got a whopper of a lie ready to go, right? For this one. That was my second thought. My third thought was, nice fucking, I think P. Diddy called. He wants his cross back. You got any diamonds in that thing? Look at the size of that fucking piece. Jesus. New video, new album dropping next month. Fucking get it while you can. Caroline Leavitt. Bam. Let's go.
Increased cost of eggs. I would like to point out to each and every one of you that in 2024, when Joe Biden was in the Oval Office or upstairs in the residence sleeping, I'm not so sure, egg prices.
That's an old man sleepy joke from the press secretary. Shots fired. Shots fired. Like, she's not very good at this, right? I mean, she's not very good. As much as I didn't like the shit that she was saying, Kayleigh McEnany, at least, like, she was good at bullshitting, I believe. Like, she was a good bullshitter for Trump. Again, she was completely bullshitting the whole time, but she at least was good at it. Caroline, not so much. Not so much.
This has increased 65% in this country. We also have seen the cost of everything.
So did anybody get that? Did you see the shift? Did you catch the shift there? Okay, so the question was, the price of eggs have skyrocketed since Donald Trump has taken office. What's going on there? Because I think you promised to, make sure that the price of everything came down, and that's kind of the opposite of what's happening. And what their answer is that eggs went up 64% under Joe Biden. That's the answer for why eggs have now skyrocketed again under Donald Trump, right? So eggs, Joe Biden kind of leveled off, went up, right? 64% under COVID, kind of had it under control, depending on what the supply was for chickens and eggs and stuff like that, supply and demand kind of thing. But now we're seeing a significant rise since Trump was in office. And again, somehow that's Biden's fault. I can't see how that works.
Not just eggs, bacon, groceries, gasoline have increased because of the inflationary policies of the last administration. As far as the egg...
But no. We're in your administration now, dear. This is your time. What was that? Was that a Sean Spicer joke? Hal? Let's see. Hal said Caroline Leavitt is Sean Spicer in drag. Well, I think she's already lasted longer, right? I think she's already officially been at the White House crest and the seal and behind the podium for longer than Sean Spicer has. I don't know if she's told. Sean managed to get in more lies in the short period of time, though. And also had to stand on like a little, those little things that the kids have to stand on by the fucking kitchen sink when they're getting taught how to wash their hands. Right? Or they want to help do the dishes. They want to help mom do the dishes. If any kids do that anymore. But that little fucking thing the stool they have to step on. That's what Sean Spicer had when he got behind the podium. Anyway, let's see. I just want to hear her finish out what she has to say in this ridiculous nonsense.
Shortage. What's also contributing to that is that the Biden administration in the Department of Agriculture directed the mass killing of more than 100 million chickens, which has led to a lack of chicken supply in this country.
Are you gonna make sure that everybody knows why? Oh, that looked like a Slacks message going. What's up, Slacks? Slacks. What's up, brother? Right back at you, dude. Slava Ukraina. Heroyam Slava. Appreciate you, dude. Appreciate you, my man. Thank you for watching. But I mean, what? Caroline, what are you talking about?
Therefore, lack of egg supply, which
is she going to tell us why?
is leading to the shortage. So I will leave you with this point.
So okay, she's not going to tell. She's not going to tell you why. I'll get off track. I'll get off track for a second. Just to make sure everybody's informed. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh Christ, it's not working. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Kills. Just without context, it almost sounds like it almost sounds like you could believe what the fuck she's saying. Let's see here. Just a little article on why. Here's why egg prices are so high. Where is this from? Let's see. This is from January 28th, 2025. Let's see. Egg prices are expected to increase more than 20% after this ad gets out of my way, I think. Jesus Christ. Look at the room they give me to read while the ad's in my face. How am I? All right, there we go. Thank you. All right, thank you for letting me enjoy your lovely site for 10 seconds. Enough with the ads. Jesus Christ. All right, egg prices are expected to increase more than 20% in the coming year compared to the 2.2% expected inflation rate for food overall, in part due to highly pathogenic bird flu that is limited in poultry supply in the United States. Again, egg prices increased more than 8% from November to December, according to the Consumer Price Index, and the average cost of 1 dozen grade A large eggs in December across the U.S. was $4.15, up from $2.52 at the start of 2024. Experts say the increases will likely continue as long as the outbreaks of highly pathogenic avian influenza, HPAI, which began in 2022 and brought record high egg prices reaching an average of $4.82 per dozen in January 23, still persist. Retail egg prices will continue to experience volatile month-to-month changes throughout the year and are expected to increase a total of 20.3%, the U.S. Department of Agriculture said in its 2025 food price outlook. The avian flu forces farmers to kill their entire flock to help limit. God damn it, Forbes. Just keep it in the same place so I can read it. That's all I'm asking. Pop-up ads on the side. Good, I can handle that. Just leave the fucking words in the same spot for me. That's all I'm asking. Good grief. The avian flu forces farmers to kill their entire flock to help limit the spread of its flu if the flu is found on a poultry farm. The Associated Press reported that more than 145 million chickens and other birds have been killed since the outbreak began. Okay? So Joe Biden isn't just running around with a fucking hatchet, fucking taking the heads off of chickens to make sure that the price of eggs skyrockets somehow. It's not fucking Joe Biden's pastime to go into a big chicken pen with a shotgun and start taking out chickens. These are farmers that have literally made the choice to nuke their entire fucking stock as to not create a larger problem, as to not create a larger epidemic or an outbreak of bird flu, which has been spreading to humans more frequently, right? So right there it says what Caroline Levitt will not tell you, and I'll make it nice and big so you guys can see it. I'll make it nice and big right here. Right here. Right there it says that the avian flu forces farmers to kill their entire flock to help limit the spread if the flu is found on a poultry farm. More than 145 chickens and other birds have been killed since the outbreak began. So there's what the White House wants you to believe, and then there's the truth. Two different things. Bring this back for you. So let's see. I think there's 30 seconds left, so we might as well finish all the lies here.
This is an example of why it's so incredibly important that the Senate moves swiftly to confirm all of President Trump's nominees, including his nominee for the United States Department of Agriculture, Brooke Rollins, who is already speaking with Kevin Hassett, who's leading the economic team here at the White House, on how we can address the egg shortage in this country. As for costs, I laid out the plethora of ways that President Trump has addressed saving costs for the American people over the past.
Already? So wait a minute. He's already done all he can do? Is that the message that I'm getting there? He's already done all he can do on bringing down prices, and the result is a 20.3% increase in the price of eggs. Good job, and congratulations on ending the war in Ukraine, the brutal invasion of Ukraine by a Russian dictator and madman, a maniacal fucking authoritarian fascist piece of shit. Yeah, but congratulations on ending that in the first 24 hours. I mean, that was some feat. That was some feat. What? Oh, they didn't end it. No, I could have sworn. No, he definitely said he was going to end it in 20. He didn't? All right, sorry. I have to retract my previous statement. I'm now hearing on the wire. I'm hearing on the wireless here. I'm getting it through the wire here that the war is not over. Yet another thing he's lied about. Yet another thing he's failed to deliver on. And again, like we told you before, he was got in the office. The people that are going to benefit the most are the rich, and the people that are going to suffer the most are the poor. And the people that were poor. What up, Vanguard? What's happening? What's popping? Appreciate you guys. Great show. You guys have been killing it with the interviews lately. You guys have just been racking them up. Saw Crystal Ball on there. Obviously, the Mehdi Hassan interview. Pondering Politics with Josiah. You got them all going in there. Kyle's on there. So I appreciate you guys. What's happening? Appreciate it. So I was just trying to educate my chat basically on the lies of Caroline Levitt so far, telling us that Biden's killing 100 million chickens, but then not telling everybody why the chickens are being killed to mitigate what is could be a huge problem, especially in the farmers in the field for the farmers. Would not be good if this started to spread in a major way. Not only that, but would not be good if it started to spread to humans in a more rapid way. Again, I don't. What's up, Rocks? Thank you. Appreciate you being here. Again, I don't trust. I know everybody was wondering. I heard a lot of people asking questions earlier, and I watched the whole hearing. So basically, what had happened is the senators had till 5 o'clock this evening to submit their final questions to Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and then he has basically, I think it was basically like an as soon as possible type of thing for him to respond to the final questions of the senators, and that's when I think they will vote on his confirmation, in case anybody was wondering. I know a lot of people were questioning about that. All right, so that was Caroline Levitt lying to everybody's face in what was that? Is that her first or second press conference? So off to what we knew was going to be a hot start for all of Donald Trump's press secretary so far, just lying through their goddamn teeth. I'm surprised that cross did not melt or burn off her neck. I can see a little green, though. Looks like that fake gold chain's making her neck a little green. All right, anyway, what are we going to cover next? Let me make sure I get these out of here so I'm not overloading the system. Trump already did that. We covered why egg prices are like that. Let's see here. There's just so much to cover. How about we take a look at, well, first off, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I'm Boston Brian. This is Blunt Politics. Make sure you hit the like button. If you're joining us in the chat, that would be fantastic. I feel like we haven't done this in a while. No, let's do, man, it's so hard to decide. There's so many good things we go watch. All right. Let's take a look at this first. Let's take a look at this first. It ties in nicely with my World War II background. So you know how, let me just set this up a little bit for you guys before I bring it in. Do you know how, Brian, check your text when you get a chance? I sure will. I sure will. Let's see here. Well, did you heard, do you know sorry, I'm not sure, Mel. I couldn't really tell you, to be sure. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate it. But yeah, just keep me posted, Mel. Let me know what happens with that. I couldn't be 100% sure if I do or don't, if it's okay, if it's not okay. But I appreciate you letting me know. Let me put this up there so I can see it in case you text again. Sorry. All right, so let's get into this a little bit. Let me put this on the screen for you guys to see. I apologize about the jankiness of tonight's show, but again, like I said, the tech issues kind of threw everything off. All right, so again, let me set this up for everybody. So we talked last show extensively about Elon Musk's Nazi salute, right? And the people that were covering for it and trying to excuse it and downplay it and tell us that he was just sending his heart out to the fucking crowd, right? But then we paired not only the salute, but the salute in the tweets that he had afterwards, where he referenced several of the highest ranking Nazis and tried to do a little word play with that to make it seem like he was joking around. We pair that with his anti-Semitic views of the past, finding out that, the reason he went to Auschwitz with Ben Shapiro was basically because he was on some sort of an apology tour for the shit he said. Talking, there's a tweet that's still up to this day, talking about how some Jewish conspiracy, and underneath that is a comment from Elon Musk saying, "You just told the truth." I don't know the exact message that the tweet puts out, but basically it's a Jewish conspiracy tweet. Basically, the Jews run the world type of thing. And Elon liked it and said that the person told the truth. Thank you, Becky, for the 5 gifted. Very, very nice of you. I appreciate that so much. But Mel, on the subject of that text, if he said I have the best glove on the South Shore, chances are he does know me. Because I was a hell of a shortstop. And catcher and third baseman and pitcher and first baseman and outfielder. I'm tooting my horn. I'm sorry. I'm tooting my horn just a little bit. But I was thinking about the message. All right, let's see if I can bring this in. Because this is just yet more evidence that we needed to see or didn't need to see from Elon Musk to suggest, and this is what Brittany Page was bringing up, referencing. If everybody caught our interview the other day, if you haven't, go back and check it out. Brittany Page, a fantastic guest, fantastic insight, really smart, has been in the game a long time, has a lot of really, really good insight into where we should be going and what we should be looking at. So make sure you check that out. But she was referencing what Elon says in this, and this is another thing that we've referenced in this show before. Elon's endorsement of the AfD party in Germany, right? The far right, fascist loving, Nazi sympathizing AfD party. And we're going to take a look at just a little bit of what Elon had to say while he spoke at one of their, I guess it's a rally or a campaign launch or whatever the hell they want to call it. But let me just make sure. Let me go to theater mode. Where's theater mode? This one? No, that ain't it. We'll just go big. We'll go big screen. Everybody likes a big screen. All right, here we go.
Well, first of all, I wanted to really say that I'm very excited for the AfD. And I think you're really the best hope for Germany. I think some things that something I think that is just very important is that people take pride in Germany and being German. This is very important.
Pay attention now. Pay attention very closely to the words that he's saying. Pay very close attention, and then make sure you're understanding where he's speaking and who he's speaking to. Okay, so this is Germany speaking to a far right, fascist, sympathizing AfD, right? Listen to the words and what he says.
It's okay to be proud to be German. This is a very important principle, and
right, sounds very similar to the. It's very, it's okay to be proud to be an American, right? You don't have to be shameful. You don't have to be ashamed of the past, the incredibly brutal and violent past of the United States as far as, how we treated the Native Americans and, slavery in this country, right? Like it's very similar language to, we don't want slavery being taught in schools, right? This critical race theory bullshit. We don't want to hear about what our ancestors did. It wasn't us that did it, right? Well, you can still be proud of your country. You can still be proud of your heritage, right? You can still be proud of all these things and acknowledge the past, acknowledge the mistakes that were made. and acknowledge how we've progressed as a society, hence progressives, right? That's our whole goal in this, is to progress society into a place more inclusive, right? More stable for the middle class, where the middle class is busting at the seams, right? And therefore helps not only the people in the lower classes, but still helps the people up top, right? When there's a strong middle class, the economy thrives, right? When the rich get fucking taxed at a higher rate and they pay their fair share, we're able to fix our roads. We're able to fix our bridges more easily. We don't have to fucking pinch pennies here and there to figure out why there's so many homeless people, why there's so many vets on the streets that haven't been taken care of. You can still have pride in your country and recognize the failures of the systems that we have. Recognize where we failed and who we failed, and who we need to take care of and who we need to lift up, right? You can still do all those things while recognizing the horrible past and the horrible things that this country has done in the recent fucking past, right? It doesn't just have to be our plight against Native Americans or the history of slavery in this country, right? We can talk about the Iraq War, right? We could talk about the injustices perpetrated against some of the Afghanistan citizens. We could talk about our drone strikes. We could talk about what happened in Syria. There's a lot of things that we could talk about. And this isn't an America bad thing. This is America, loving America to the point where you're able to criticize, where you're able to recognize its faults. That way we can make them better, right? If you can't make things better if you don't first recognize the mistakes that you're making. If you think everything's fucking hunky-dory, what's up, Peter? How are you, buddy? Appreciate you. If you think everything's fucking hunky-dory, then there's no reason to fix anything. There's nothing to fix. But clearly we don't live in a system where there's nothing to fix. That's crazy. But keep in mind what he's saying, where he is, listen to the words.
It's proud. It's okay. It's good to be proud of German culture, German values, and not to lose that in some sort of multiculturalism that dilutes everything.
Common sense.
Did you catch that? Did you catch that? One more time for the people in the back. One more time for the people in the back. Was so racist and Nazi-like. It actually made that lady tear up. Pay attention.
And not to lose that in some sort of multiculturalism that dilutes everything.
Don't lose that in some multiculturalism that dilutes everything. Now, what the fuck do you think that means? What? Well, I don't know, Mel. I'm sorry. I didn't know what the hell was going on. You know what's going on. I don't. Yeah. So do we understand what's going here with the language? Do we understand what's going on? Multicultural. So different races, right? Different nationalities and creeds mixed together to dilute their German history, their German ancestry. Does that sound familiar to you? Sounds familiar to me. And there's a little more.
Common sense policies. And just like President Trump has common sense policies, like show and, go.
Okay, all good.
He must have lost connection and had to go back.
I think you want more self-determination for Germany and for the countries in Europe, and less from Brussels. That's my opinion. I think there's too much bureaucracy from Brussels, too much control from sort of global elite, and
global elite. Now, why would he bring up global elite? Now, what is the conspiracy theory behind? Hold on, Mom's calling. What a night this has been. Oh, I missed it. Hold on. Gotta call Mom. Can't miss the call. Can't miss the call. It's the one person you always gotta take the call from Mom. Hi, Mom. You're live on the air now, just to let you know. No, show started at 8:30. That's okay. Nope, that's quite all right. Don't worry about it. What's going on? All right. I love you. Bye. Sorry, guys. It's one of them nights. It's just going to be one of those nights. I knew it. I knew it the entire time. As soon as I clicked start, it was going to be one of them nights. She's gonna be so mad when she finds out. What's up, Adam? She's gonna be so mad when she finds out she was on speakerphone. All right, just a couple more seconds of this, maybe a minute of this, and I just want you to get the feel of why it's so important to connect all these dots with not only the salute that I don't think could have been any more clear in what it was, connected with his tweets. Again, praising with the wordplay with the Nazi hierarchy compared to his past of liking and agreeing with anti-Semitic, anti-Jewish conspiracy theories, right? Compared to, again, and everybody's like, oh, he went to Auschwitz, though. He went to fucking Auschwitz. Yeah, ton of fucking white supremacists and Adolf loving pieces of shit go to Auschwitz to pay their respects to the people and to look at firsthand the destruction that they caused, to admire the fucking work, right? Sounds sick, but that's what happens. That's what fucking happens. And again, I said it on the last show, you can, all over the internet, you can find fucking pictures of people doing Nazi salutes at these places, at these like sacred fucking memorial sites, of some of, again, the worst atrocities and that you could possibly perpetrate on your fellow man. Just the most dehumanizing, I don't know. I don't even know. When you see video of piles of fucking human hair that are 20, 25 feet high, just mounds of fucking eyeglasses, mounds of shoes, mounds of fucking kids' clothes, mounds of suitcases these people brought because they said they were being, rehoused, just move to a different section, take everything you got, and then when you get there, oh, believe me, we're going to take everything you got. You're not going to need it anyway. Just head to the showers that aren't showers, right? Thank you, Yvonne. Appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. Oh, thank you, Jenny Faye, too. Always talk to your mom. Yeah. Well, I call before the show to make sure that, I say hi, and I try to avoid the call during the show. But, you can only do so much. You can only do so much. But thank you, Yvonne, for the 5 gifted. I really do appreciate it. And Jenny Faye, thank you for being here for 4 months. I really appreciate your support. Great seeing you on the Zoom the other night too, and thank you to everybody that signed up for Patreon. We'll announce the next month Zoom dates coming up here. So if you get a chance, you can head over to Patreon, check out the tiers on there. For as little as $5, you can help over there, and for as little as $1.99, you can become a channel member, or just hit the like button, share it out, comment in the chat, send an emoji in the chat. Hi on Twitch, send the bits, whatever you do over there would be fantastic. Hi on Facebook, smash the like button over there, right? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. If you don't like me, that works too. That works too. But thank you guys. I really do appreciate it. All right, so let's see here. What else does he? I don't know if it's worth even.
When I've given talks at these sort of global government conferences, what I've said is there should be less global government. There should be more determination by individual countries. So I very much hope that I'm
confused by this whole, because this video says it's fucking 11 hours and 53 minutes and 19 seconds long, right? And if you go to the end, the guy's still talking. Is he on here for 11 hours? Or am I tripping? Like, how is that even possible, right?
When I've given talks
at
these sort of global...
It's now 9 hours and 47 minutes into it, and he's still talking. How is that possible?
I think you're really the best hope for Germany. I think some things that, something I think that is just very important is that people take pride in in Germany and being German. This is very important. It's
All right, so we know the message he's trying to get through. And again, I just wanted to make sure because there were a few different people that I wanted to play last week on the show that we didn't get time to play. Let's see here, who was it? Ben Shapiro. I think we played Shapiro and Rogan, but I didn't get to. Let's see here. Didn't get to. There was another person that was trying to. Well, maybe I didn't get to Shapiro. Maybe I just did. No, I did get to Shapiro. Oh, PBD. That's who it was. That's who it was. I didn't get to the PBD podcast. They were defending it also. All right. So on to the next one. On to the next one. On to the next one. All right. So let's bring this one up. This is what I wanted to talk about. So as we're discussing Trump rescinding his insane federal freeze order that again affected Medicaid portals, again, where 72 million Americans get their health care, school lunches, breakfast for kids, Meals on Wheels, which my grandmother used to get all the time. God rest her soul. How you doing? So again, a Head Start, Section 8, people that need assistance for heating. People like, what's going on? What do we do? What's happening? Nobody knows. So again, the outrage factor kind of forced Trump into rescinding the order, basically, right? So why I wanted to speak about this is because in his last administration, Trump also rescinded an order, and I'm sure he's done it a few times, but these are really big orders, right? These aren't just like little orders here and there that, maybe could be followed, but, it's not really too effective. It doesn't really affect too much. These are big fucking orders. Like when you start affecting Medicaid, and like I said, 72 million Americans and what they're doing, right? When you're starting to affect if a kid can go to school and get something to eat, or whether or not somebody can heat their house, right? Or somebody on Section 8 that needs to be able to pay that rent to there's a lot of things that these aren't just small time things, right? Where it's just not affecting that many people, right? These are huge things. So this is why when I bring this in, let's see here. I'm going to share this tab instead. I am going to bring this in for you guys. I did add to the stage. There it is. All right. So this is, JD, thank you so much. Haven't heard you swear once, Boston Brian. No profanity bonus. I'm sure there's one in there. There has to be one in there, but I do appreciate it. And thank you for noticing if I haven't. No, I don't need flowers, so I'm going to try to get rid of that ad. All right. So this is out of from his last administration. This was written, let's see here. This was written September 14th, 2021. Okay. And I'll make it bigger just so you guys can see it because I don't think that's there you go. A little bigger on you. Why can't I do anything up here? I want to get rid of this. I want to use the whole screen. How do I use the whole screen? No, it's not going to let me. Just not going to let me. All right, there we go. Nope, we're back. Nope. There we go. All right. So this is out of the Bob Woodward book. This is an article stemming from that where Trump's secret memo ordering withdrawal from Afghanistan blindsided national security team. And I just wanted to go through this to give you a little bit of a reminder on just how chaotic and how stupid and how, I guess, easily scared Donald Trump is, right? When he's pressed on something. If you actually press this man, he crumbles like a fucking coffee cake, right? He crumbles like a fucking Nature Valley bar on the way to work. That's how fast he crumbles. But take a look at this. You're actually going to, for the people that haven't heard this story, I think you're going to be a little surprised. And again, maybe if you're following politics for long enough, you won't be surprised at all. But just 8 days after the 2020 election, then President Donald Trump was so determined to end the war in Afghanistan during the presidency that he secretly signed a memo to withdraw all troops by January 15, 2021, according to a new book, Peril, by journalists Bob Woodward and Robert Costa. The November 11th memo, according to authors, had been secretly drafted by 2 Trump loyalists and never went through the normal process for a military directive. The Secretary of Defense, National Security Advisor, and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs all had never seen it. Think about that. Think about how wild that statement is. Think about how wild that statement is, right? According to the authors, it had been secretly drafted by 2 Trump loyalists and never went through the normal process for a military directive. We're talking about withdrawing United States troops from an entire fucking country, right? From an entire fucking war zone. This isn't like, hey, put 10 troops on the west side instead of the east side, right? Or, we're going to, take out 5,000 and replace it with a fresh 5,000. This is withdrawing the entire military fucking force. And it gets better. It gets better. Because the Secretary of Defense, the National Security Advisor, and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff had no fucking clue about this. Never seen it. Never fucking seen it. Right? Unpredictable, impulsive Trump had never done an end run around his whole national security team. In a remarkable scene, the authors write, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, newly appointed acting Defense Secretary Chris Miller, and his new Chief of Staff, Kash Patel, were all blindsided by the memo arrived at the Pentagon. Even more people to be blindsided by this, right? So not just the people that were mentioned earlier that should have absolutely been involved in not only the directive of this, but also the planning that would need to go into this, right? With no military strategy or military planning that to go into this. You don't just pull people out, right? It's insane. But it gets even better. Let's see here. Kash Patel blindsided with a note. Woodward and Costa reproduced the memo in parallel. The directive was titled Memorandum for Acting Secretary of Defense, Withdrawal from Somalia and Afghanistan. Not just Afghanistan anymore. Now we're going Afghanistan and Somalia with withdrawing all U.S. troops, right? From 2 different nations now. From 2 different nations. And think about the people that had no idea about this, right? We're going to continue. And the memo said, I hereby direct you to this is what the memo said. I hereby direct you to withdraw all U.S. forces from the Federal Republic of Somalia no later than 31 December 2020 and from the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan no later than 15 January 2021. Inform all allied and partner forces of the directive. Please confirm receipt of this order. Milley studied the memo and announced he was heading to the White House to confront Trump, right? So this was so egregious, right? This is so out of pocket and not the way things are done and dangerous. Vacuum that is caused when you withdraw the entire United States military force from a certain region. We saw what happened in Afghanistan when we withdrew. There's been several instances where you can look at when the United States occupies a certain country or a certain part. We see the vacuum that it creates. So we know the danger it poses for the most criminal elements of some of these places to even in these territories after. But okay, so the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff saw this memo and was so fucking freaked out. Sorry, JD. He went right to the White House. He didn't make a phone call. He didn't say, let me talk to somebody. He didn't write a letter, right? Not an email, a fucking text message. He said, I am out of here. Give me a car. We're going to the White House, right? Give me the 1600, right? So this is what Mark Milley had to say. I'd love to. Where's my mouse? That would be great. Here it is. So this is Mark Milley's. So this is really fucked up, and I'm going to see the president. I'm heading over. Come or not, Milley told Miller and Patel, who had joined him across the Potomac, according to the book. At the White House, 3 men paid his visits to National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien and showed him the signed memo. Right? Do you think? And at the White House, who probably has no idea of what this memo was, right? No. How did this happen, Milley? Do this? Milley questioned. O'Brien looked at the memo and said, I have no idea. And this might seem like mundane and just like another article on the craziness of Trump, But if you're actually understanding what's happening here, my mic is breaking up. Audio choppy. Now, why the fuck would that happen? Let me try. Just not going to be my mic tonight. Not going to be my night. Give me a sec. Give me a second. Let me take this off. That make it any better? Any worse? Any better? Audio should be good. Default podcast microphone sounds like it's good. Echo cancellation on. Reduced mic background noise. Let's see here. Does it sound any better? Vicky says too many tabs open. I think you're right, Vicky. I think that was the issue. But my computer is being really, really slow right now. Good now, much better. I think it's because there was a video on an ad playing. I think that's what really screws up. Like if I have a tab open and there's like a video or like an ad that has a video that's playing inside of it, kind of like this one right here on the top right, where it says transform you say. I think that's really what messes up my audio because for some reason it choppy. Yes, MJ, they're still there, comes and goes. Oh, motherfucker. Sorry. Let's see here. Default microphone. That is it. Headset communications. Hello? 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 Is that any better? Any worse? When you did that, it scratched the video of you jump slightly too when it does it. Yeah, I can see in the video being choppy, but I think that's because the 60-mile-an-hour winds outside. Sounds okay, Mama says. Better. I just switched the source. Joseph says better. Never bitch at a computer glitch. It's fine now. I think the last tab did the trick. It's great now. All right. Sorry about that. Was I reading this whole article and it sounded like shit? That's my apologies. Jersey drones. That's a good point. Did you hear them come out and announce that it was just literally what everybody was saying? You know, everybody was saying the whole time was just fucking, FAA regulated flights by these people doing either like experiments or just fucking average everyday citizens putting up their drones, right? I think there was a few of us that called that one right off the bat. Sorry, nope, only a few minor blips. All right, so I just wanted to make sure that you guys heard what I was saying because this is important, right? This is important when we're talking about what we're looking for as like what is Donald Trump capable of in this second administration, right? In his second term. So basically all we have to look at is his past administration, right? So this is just a little peek into what's going on. And where we left off is Milley had gone to the White House, right? With Kash Patel, with Christopher Miller, and now is talking to Robert O'Brien, asking him if so far none of these fucking people have ever heard of this memo. They've never seen it. They don't know the plans behind it. They don't know who created it. And this is we're talking about removing United States troops from Somalia and Afghanistan. So just imagine that. Just imagine that. At the same time that we're trying to plan an evacuation from Afghanistan, we're also going to be planning one from Somalia. Unbelievable. Let's see here. Where do we leave off? O'Brien took a little, right here. I have no idea, according to the authors. What do you mean you have no idea? You're the national security advisor to the president, Milley responded. And the Secretary of Defense didn't know about this, and the Chief of Staff to the Secretary of Defense didn't know about this. The chairman didn't know. How the hell does this happen? This is Mark Milley. Basically, you can tell he was outraged, right? Rightfully so. So O'Brien took the memo and left while the officials had briefly debated whether the memo could be a forgery. Trump confirmed to O'Brien that he had signed it, right? So they're trying to figure out if somebody faked it. It was so fucked up, right? This order was so tapped, right? And so, like I said, out of pocket in not following the rules that the military and our national security people have put in place to conduct missions like this, that they had to fucking see if it was a forgery, bro. They thought it was a fucking forgery. But Trump's like, no. I signed that shit. I signed it. What's the question? Right? Mr. President, you've got to have a meeting with the principals, right? O'Brien told Trump, according to the book, which Trump agreed to do, and the directive was withdrawn. It was effectively a rogue memo and had no standing, Woodward and Costa write. All right, O'Brien said when he returned to this office, it was already taken care of. It was a mistake. This memo was nullified. So just like that. But the signed rogue memo undercuts the argument that Trump had some of his allies, including Miller, had recently made. Trump had never really planned to get out of or would have planned the withdrawal better than President Joe Biden. If I were now president, the world would find that our withdrawal from Afghanistan would be a conditions-based withdrawal. Again, this is where he just goes on to say that basically he would have done it better afterwards. Let's see. Right in Pebble that the memo was also one of the reasons that Milley was concerned Trump could go rogue after the November election and prompted Milley after the January 6th insurrection to take steps to try to limit Trump from launching military strikes or nuclear weapons unless he was consulted. Eventually, Miller, and Patel left the White House. They never saw the president that day, but after the January 6th assault on the Capitol, Woodward and Costa write that Milley felt no absolute certainty that the military could control or trust Trump. Milley, quote, believed it was his job as the senior military officer to think the unthinkable and take any and all necessary precautions. So that's one of the stories that I pull out of my back pocket when, anybody on the right or, anybody at all tries to tell me that, Trump would have done the Afghanistan withdrawal better. B, Trump is somehow a better leader for the military. Whatever, to see that he's a competent individual, right? I mean, we've seen some of the 14,373 fucking executive orders that he put out are some of the most ridiculous, unlawful, unconstitutional, illegal fucking orders that you could possibly put out there. Yeah, they do say it out loud. Absolutely, they do say it out loud. All right, so let's see here. What else can we take a look at? This is what we're going to do. We're going to finish out. We got coming up on the first hour. And again, see, I just want to make sure we can take a look at this one too, real quick. Man, there's a couple things that I'd like to take a look at before. All right, we'll take a look at this one, just because it pertains to the military, and we're on a military roll here. This is about Donald Trump issuing an order to ban transgender troops. So you knew it was coming. It was only a matter of time after Pete Hegseth was confirmed to hear their bigoted, trying to keep it civil here. But basically, we knew this was coming. They're bigoted bullshit. Trying to kick out. I believe it says in here how many we have, how many serving trans members of the military that we do have. I believe it's somewhere in the 30,000 range, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see here. Let's see here. Monday night, man. Probably tell me, right? President Trump issued an executive order late Monday night to ban transgender troops from serving openly in the military. Now, listen, the move was no surprise. Trump spoke frequently on the campaign trail about his plans. Quote, if you want to have a sex change or a social justice seminar, then you can do it somewhere else, but you're not going to do it in the Army, Navy, Coast Guard, Air Force, Space Force, or the United States Marines. Sorry, Trump said at an August rally in North Carolina. The order speaks of transgender identity in a sweeping and dismissive terms, labeling it, quote, radical gender ideology. Quote, a man's assertion that he is a woman, and his requirement that others honor this falsehood is not consistent with the humility and selflessness required of a service member, the order reads. Right. Correct, Peter. Good call. Great call. So a man that never served, right? A man that somehow got out of, several instances where he should have served because of deferments due to some fucking fake bone spur issue that seem to hasn't popped up recently. I know that. Doesn't seem to be affecting his golf game either. But yeah, just disgusting shit here from the president and Secretary of Defense. Once again, if there's so many things that we need to focus on, if there's so many issues that should be addressed, why are we starting with this? Now let me just see. I know it tells me in here somewhere. So Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth says 30 days to submit a plan to implement the order. Until then, many of the details, particularly how it will affect people currently serving, remain unclear. Excuse me. The order harks back to a policy that started with a series of tweets from Trump in 2017 in his first term in office. The tweets was a surprise military brass at the time. The policy was ultimately developed, took effect in 2019, and grandfathered in service members who were already receiving gender-affirming care. It was essentially a ban for anyone trying to enlist as trans or who wanted to begin to transition medically while serving. President Joe Biden reversed the ban soon after he took office. Let's see here. Here we go. An estimated 15,000 military personnel are transgender. Excuse me, I said 30. Right here. The number is based on a survey of active duty military and an estimate of those in the reserves and National Guard. Right, the number of troops who will be affected by the ban is a portion of those overall numbers, according to the Department of Health agency, which operates the Department of Defense electronics health records. Nearly 2,000 military personnel had a diagnosis of, quote, gender dysphoria, end quote. As of 2021, that indicates the identity with a gender that's different from the sex they were assigned at birth. So, just more of the, like I said, bigoted, anti-trans, transphobic stuff that we saw in the previous administration from Donald Trump, now just being implemented by an alcoholic, sexual abuser, Muslim-hating, war hawk piece of shit in Pete Hegseth, right? Well, 2000 was. Sorry, I'm not going to hop in the chat in the middle. I could very well not know what the hell that comment means. All right, so yeah, I just wanted to make sure that we're checking in on a lot of the things that we're doing. Again, we're gonna have to fly through them because there's so much to keep up on. There really is. Let's see here. Am I gonna have time for this? Oh, this is something I wanted to take a look at. Here we go. There we go. Here we go. Now, can anybody tell me why? Can anybody tell me why this would happen? Anybody? Come on. Anybody? Senate Democrats blocked the National Criminal Court sanctions bill in response to Netanyahu warrant, which is good. Unfortunately, they seemingly did it for the wrong reasons. But the part of the story that I'm interested in, let me see if I can pull this up right here. And again, this is I can't even really process this shit. This is to go after ICC investigators, right? Investigators, because the ICC targeted Netanyahu, and it sparked backlash from Republicans and Democrats in Congress. The same bill passed the House earlier this month, 243 to 140, with 45 Democrats voting with Republicans. Let's see here. It says in this story, somewhere in this story about, oh, here it is. Here it is. What's this say? No, fuck you. Where'd it go? Here it is. What's that say, guys? Hey, I'll make it bigger so you can see. How's that? Can you see that? What's that say? I'll give you a second to read it. In the end, the only Democrat to vote for the measure with Republicans was Senator John Fetterman. Huh. Now, what have I been saying about John Fetterman? So he goes down to Mar-a-Lago. He calls Trump very cordial and nice, right? Kisses the hat in hand, right? I mean, if he was coming out and talking smack, right? if he was coming out forcefully against Donald Trump and the policies that he's putting into place, while he was maybe kind of trying to kiss his ass, I could maybe understand it. But going down to Mar-a-Lago like fucking Joe and Mika, if you had a problem with Joe and Mika doing it, I don't see why you wouldn't have a problem with fucking John Fetterman doing it. Why is he going to Mar-a-Lago? Why is he doing it? Clearly, it's not getting us anything, right? If he's willing to fucking be the only Democrat to vote with Republicans on a bill to investigate fucking ICC, the International Criminal Court investigators, right? At a time where this is happening, right? When we're getting this, let me see here if I can pull this up for you. Let's see here. Pull this up. See, make that a little bigger for you. Sorry. Too big. There you go. How are we doing now? Right? Can you see it? There we go. Make it like that. So we got 50,000. And again, these are probably lowball numbers. We've seen numbers over 100, obviously unconfirmed. These are probably lowball numbers. This is from, let's see here. It says on the top there. This is from the EU. Sorry. Let me open. Crap. Can I open it with anything where I can actually take a look at it? It won't let me zoom up on the right thing. Come on. There it is. The Euromed Human Rights Monitor, right? So I just wanted to make sure I got the thing, the organization correct. All right. So 10% of the population is either killed, injured, missing, or detained. 50,292 killed. The killed number includes those presumed dead under the rubble. The Ministry of Health records 41,000 civilians, 45,155 children, 16,577 women, 10,488, 101,000 injured, 3,600 detainees forcibly disappeared. Right? What's this say? 31% of the casualties are children, 21% of the casualties are women, 9 out of every 10 people killed are civilians. October 7th, following a military attack, the Palestinian factions in Gaza, Israel lost a devastating war in the Gaza Strip. Since then, Israel has committed hundreds of violations that amount to war crimes and crimes against humanity, which the International Court of Justice, the ICJ, has described as plausible genocide, along with UN Special Rapporteur, along with the International Criminal Court, who has these people have also put out warrants for Benjamin Netanyahu, rightfully so. 90% of the population was forcibly displaced. Let's see here. 89% of the hospitals have been destroyed or damaged, leaving only 32 out of 36 hospitals across. Leaving only 32 out of 36 hospitals across the Strip still operational at approximately 30% of their capacity. Let's see here. I mean, just some devastating numbers, right? 172 journalists killed, 83 civil defense workers killed, 2,217 healthcare professionals, 987 killed, 1,230 injured, 80 doctors killed. 6 indicators Israel failed to comply with the ICJ ruling. Let's see here. 1, mass killings. 2, cause serious physical and mental harm. 3, imposing inhumane living conditions. Inhumane living conditions. Using starvation as a weapon, imposing an environment meant to prevent childbirth, public incitement to genocide. You know? Let's see. I'm over by 5 minutes, but I think I can get at least a couple minutes of this in. Just a couple minutes of this.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this press conference at the Palais des Nations in Geneva, which is currently hosting the 55th regular session of the United Nations Human Rights Council. We are very, very pleased to have with us Ms. Francesca Albanese, who's the Special Rapporteur on the situation of human rights in the Palestinian territories occupied since 1967, and 2 others to the UN Human Rights Council.
Grounds to believe that the threshold indicating that
I'm only going to play a couple seconds of it. I won't go through too much. Rewind it. Ready? Listen, keep your ears open.
Israel's onslaught on Gaza. My report finds that there are reasonable grounds to believe that the threshold indicating.
So she first says, let me rewind it so you can get the fucking correct picture. I keep missing the spot. But she says this is after a 5-month investigation. She's UN, the United Nations special rapporteur to this area of the country, to the occupied Palestinian territory, right? This is the findings of her investigation after compiling the evidence after what she found.
After 5 months of monitoring and analyzing Israel's onslaught on Gaza, my report finds that there are reasonable grounds to believe that the threshold indicating that Israel is committing the crime of genocide against the Palestinians as a group in Gaza has been met.
Has been met. And this isn't me saying it. Everybody's like, oh, you can't call it a genocide. It's not a genocide, really. No. This is the United Nations special fucking rapporteur to the Palestinian territories occupied since 1967, telling you that after her investigation of 5 months, she has found that the requirements that we look for to decide what is considered to be a genocide, or at least an attempted one, right, has been met. And I've played this on the show before. This is from several months ago, and since then, things haven't gotten better. So to see that Fetterman sided with the Republicans, and again, unfortunately, the Democrats voted against it, but it seems like they did it for the wrong reasons, right? Seems like they only did it because of the wording of it seemed to include some of the tech companies. It wasn't because they didn't agree with the actual policy, the actual directive of the vote, right? They just didn't like how it was worded because they think it involved it involved the tech companies in the United States, instead of actually looking at this as like, okay, these are several different human rights organizations, the ICJ, the ICC, the UN. How many different fucking people do we need to hear from telling you that Bibi Netanyahu is a criminal, right? His whole fucking regime he's got over there. You ever hear those motherfuckers talk? Right? You want to talk, you can talk all day about a fucking 2-state solution, right? Fucking the people that Bibi Netanyahu's got in power want no fucking part of it. The ambassadors to the UK that we've heard shutting down all of the fucking the options that they had, talking about literally wiping these people out. We've heard Trump talking about how he's so interested in rebuilding Gaza. I wonder why. I wonder why his fucking son's starting up a real estate fucking business. So just wanted to play that as well. But let me get into, I'll just show you this so I can switch stories. And this will be the last thing that we do. And it's been a while, guys. It's been a while. I think I've held off as long as I could possibly hold off. I think anybody that's followed me long enough knows that my speciality, my my skills come from ridiculing, making fun of, just all around, just shitting on Donald Trump. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to watch a little bit of what this asshole said today. But again, this should be fun because anytime he speaks now, something stupid comes out of his mouth and it's fucking hilarious. Sorry, just gotta get through the.
Brand is difficult. The sticky
ad.
brand.
Ready? Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Again, I want to provide a brief report on the unprecedented success our country has been witnessing in recent weeks. Since even before the election, we've been.
You think the 20% increase in egg prices is on that list? No? Is the Ukraine war, the brutal invasion of Ukraine by Russia, has that been ended? Is that on the list? I don't think that's going to be on the list.
Making extraordinary progress. The American people gave us a clear mandate to save our country, and we won all 7
No clear mandate.
Swing states by large margins, historic. Very importantly, we won the popular vote by millions and millions of votes. Also,
I'd slow down on the millions, Chief.
So all 50 states, as you know, shifted toward the Republican Party, and that's never happened before. All 50, every single one of them. In our first week in office, we set records, taking over 350 executive actions. That's not been done before.
Every single one of them useless, a lot of them unconstitutional, a majority of them probably illegal, and all of them reversible. Just to let everybody know. Yes, thanks, Nick. I can't steal the graphic. Hal's got that copyrighted, but yes, thank you for the warning. Luckily the kill. Thank God for that fucking microphone. The good placement of the microphone. I think whoever set that microphone up was doing Donald Trump a favor. Like, how can I set this up where I block the fucking vagina on his neck? Huh? How can I? At what height do I need to put this where it blocks out the fucking the mangina, the
vagina, 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 vagina.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You guys deserve better. You deserve better than this. You deserve better than this. There we go. Oh shit.
And it has reportedly been the single most effective opening week of any presidency in history. And we want to keep it that way. We want to keep it going.
Bullshit.
We want to keep it going. We've broken from decades of failed Washington policies and restored common sense and sanity to our government. We've unleashed American energy, and we've already achieved record low illegal immigration. As you see, there's nobody trying to get in. And that's what we've been waiting for a long time, and gotten woke ideologies out of our government and out of our military. The water has now begun flowing in California as we can.
Yes, the taps are open. Donald Trump himself went and opened that really big tap. You should have seen him struggling to turn that faucet, baby. Or is it a faucet? You know what I mean? He was turning that faucet, right? He just opened up the taps. The water's still flowing right now if you go look. If you take a look from the tap, it's so big.
Continue to increase the flow.
Hold on. What water? I thought the water was dead. Isn't the
water
dead?
coming here is dead.
How can you release dead water? That's what I want to know.
Well, in coming days, nobody's seen anything like that. And I've also taken strong action to
plumbing jokes. Big dog, you kill me.
Regain control of the Washington bureaucracy. Just for clarification purposes, because it was incorrectly reported yesterday, we have informed the federal workforce.
Now, does anybody remember when they were ridiculing Biden for having that like red background? Remember that speech Joe Biden gave? Where he had like the red background and a couple military soldiers standing behind him. I think there were 2 Marines standing behind him and they gave him shit. What's Donald Trump? Trump's got what? Fucking one from, he's got 2 people from every fucking branch of the military standing behind him with a big red carpet, right? Do you think they're going to give him shit about it? Think anybody in the right's could be like, oh, I don't like the visuals. The visuals on this are really fucking dark. He's a fascist. He's a fascist. Right, Mel. Right, because you guys finally had some fucking rain. Right, exactly. The water's, what an asshole. What a fucking asshole. Fuck me. Good call, Mel. Good call. Finally, and again, as you were explaining to me, after a fire like that, a lot of rain and a lot of water right after can be almost just as dangerous, right? Loosening up the soil. I mean, now these houses are on the fucking cliffs and they're unstable, and so you almost go from one disaster to the next. So you kind of need, as you were explaining, like the perfect amount of rain, where it's like not too much, but you need just enough where you can, kind of fill the coffin type thing. But yeah, fucking unbelievable, this guy. The water's now flowing like he did it. Like he fucking tickled the clouds. Come on, play.
Which they've looked to do for many years, that if they're working for the federal government, they must show up to the office on time and on schedule. We don't want them.
Wrong.
We don't want them to work from home because, as everyone knows, most of the time they're not working. They're not very productive. And
literal horse shit, right? Like, if you want to talk about the government being able to save on expenditures, how about closing the, not using as many federal buildings, right? Not having huge parking garages that you need to maintain and pay for people to show up and park at work, right? This whole you need to show up to these places to be productive. I really never understood it. And again, make sure you guys hit the like button and share this out. I know the beginning of the show fucked everything up, so I was never I was never gonna gain everybody back. So some people can only follow so many dropped live streams. So please make sure you hit the like button, share it out, throw the emojis in the chat, whatever you can do. I really do appreciate it. And again, I'm sorry for the tech issues. I really, it's unforeseen. I can't plan for that. So here we go.
And it's unfair to the millions of people in the United States who are, in fact, working hard from job sites and not from their home.
Tell the director to call the White House.
They
Do your
must
fucking
meet a high
job.
standard. They're representing our government. They're representing our country. If they don't agree by February 6th to show up back to work in their office, they will be terminated, and we will therefore be downscaling our government, which is something that the last.
So he's just saying if they don't show up to work, we're gonna just do away with their positions. That, you know what, that should really speed up the effectiveness of the government, right? That'll really speed shit up. You know what? We don't need any of those positions. And again, Project 2025 is in place, people. I want you to know that it has been implemented. There's multiple articles that you can read where a certain percentage of the executive orders and policies that Donald Trump has already put in place either directly align with or align with very similarly to the things put out and laid out in Project 2025. Again, like I said, if anybody caught me on Jesse Dollarmore's channel, which again, Jesse, shout out to you. I appreciate you having me on, buddy. Getting me past that 10,000 hump really helps. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. But if you caught me on there, I was talking about how, Trump, like the laws that we have are only as good as our ability to enforce them, right? And when Donald Trump's coming out here and literally putting in place the same Project 2025 that he said he had nothing to do with, he never read, didn't care for it, didn't like anything in it, even though he didn't read it. Tell me how that works. Just like we told everybody was going to happen. And when he's firing inspectors generals, and the people that are literally put in place to look at waste, fraud, and abuse, which again, the three words pretty much to a T accurately describe Donald Trump, right? This is what we talk about when in Project 2025 it said he wants to replace a certain number of the federal workforce with people that are sycophantic and bootlicking and on Donald Trump's fucking payroll, so to speak, right? People that are just loyal to Donald Trump, not to the office of the president, but to Donald Trump himself. So that's what we're looking at. Basically, that was just him dipping his toe in the water with the inspectors general. Much more of that to come. And he's talking about it here, how if you don't show up to work, we'll just do away with the positions. We don't give a shit. But again, how is that going to make shit run any better? You know what I mean? Doesn't make any sense.
10 presidents have tried very hard to do but failed. Most of the people we're talking about have not been going to their federal offices in many, many years, from even before COVID. But they have nevertheless been paid. Some have worked, some haven't worked. And most of the studies say that some have just gone through the motions.
Some have worked, some haven't worked. Now, let me ask you a question, guys. Anybody that works in an office in the chat, Anybody that works with a group of people anywhere, do you have people that even on site, some do a lot of work, some do just the amount that you need, and some don't do what they should be doing, right? And then you got the guy that does fuck all in the corner, right? Does it really matter if you're on site or off site? You're always going to have people that are overachievers, right? And then you're always going to have the fucking people that are dicking around in the corner, right? So to me, why it matters if somebody's home or not. Again, these people also get to take care of their own lives at the same time when they have a few spare minutes. If they complete an assignment, right, to be able to, take care of something at the house, to be able to deal with your kids while you're home, it's a huge benefit, right? Like you can see the benefit of working from home. But again, if you don't get the work done, you should be held accountable just like any other job. So whether you're on site or off site, I don't see what the problem is. If you're doing the work, fine. If you're not, you're fired, right? What the fuck is, whether you're there or not? It shouldn't be that difficult. The circle of death.
Ask these people to prove that they didn't have another job during their so-called employment with the United States of America, because if they did, that would be unlawful, as you understand. A lot of people are getting paychecks, but they're actually working other jobs. So they'll have to prove that to us that they weren't. In any event, we're requiring them to show up to work or be terminated. We think a very substantial number of people will not show up to work, and therefore our government will get smaller and more efficient. And that's what we've been looking to do for many, many.
Does anybody know what this? Did you understand what this moron's saying? Like, you understand what he's saying, right? He's just going to do away with these positions if they don't show up to work. Like, he's not going to fill the positions again. He's not going to fire them and have somebody step in their place. He's just going to do away with them so that he can say that the government is smaller. Do you understand how fucking crazy that is? Do we understand? Can we just acknowledge for a second what it just means to just do away with? I don't know how many federal employees are working from home. Let me see. How many federal employees now work from home? No, from home. Let's see, how many federal employees work are now in the office full time? This is 6 hours ago. Excuse me. It says how many federal workers? A study from last year from the Office of Management and Budget reports that of the 2.28 million civilians working for the federal government, 54% work fully on site. Of those who had permission to telework, they spent about 61% of their time in the office. So 54% of work fully on site, right? So as the White House pushes for federal workers to return to office, officials have repeatedly said only 6% of federal workers are in the office full time. Clearly, that's not right. Officials have repeatedly said only 6% of federal workers are in the office full time. That just told me that 54% of work is fully on site. So I'm assuming that's what the Trump teams. Oh, Joni Ernst, right? Yep. According to the outlet, it received 6,300 responses from people who, quote, self-reported information to verify their status as current federal employees. Of those respondents, 6% said they work entirely in person, while 64% said they worked a hybrid schedule. So, again, in office, out of office. Some people need to go in sometimes to meetings. Other times they can work from home, right? Again, how is this not just more efficient for the offices, right? Less offices with less lights in power usage, right? So when they're not in the office, they're working from home. Those offices are shut down, or the computers are shut down, right? Therefore, using less electricity, just right off the bat as a start for things that could be a positive for our federal government and saving money and stuff, right? See here, telework eligible 61% of time in office. So again, more than half the people spend more than half the time in office, right? So, and this guy's trying to complain about this like it's fucking like 95% of the workforce is working from home. With the circle of death, I can't take it. Stop it.
many decades, frankly.
Ew. 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 He raised his neck above. Oh, he raised his neck above the microphone. Why is he doing that? Put it below the mic, man.
Thank you. In addition,
He'd be the first president to get arrested for fucking indecent exposure. Indecent exposure while at the podium. Indecent podium exposure from the neck, sir.
and there was
You're under
a
arrest.
short-term pause or funding freeze on certain discretionary spending payments, such as government grants, only for us to quickly look at the scams, dishonesty, waste, and abuse that's taken place.
You mean like your crypto scam? Is that? Let me guess. The Doge is looking into it. I'm gonna get. Come on. I'm sure they're all over it, right? They're gonna just explain to us how much of a bullshit scam this is, right? The billions that you made on fucking paper, like it's just literally that's what it is. Just numbers on a fucking piece of paper at this point. Come on. That's the scam and the waste and the fraud and abuse you're talking about, right? No? Oh, come on, Donnie. Come on, Donnie.
In our government for too long. As was explicitly stated, this in no way affected Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, or other entitlements that Americans.
Wrong. You may have reversed it, but it absolutely froze the Medicaid portals. There's no denying it. That's what it did. Yesterday, people were in a fucking panic. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. How am I triggering you? What did I do, Steph? Oh, maybe just by the video. But again, he's the fucking president. And if you think, you're gonna come here and we're just never gonna listen to what this guy says, I'm not saying that's what you're saying, Steph, but to anybody that's thinking, why are we listening to him? Why are we listening? He's the fucking president, guys. I don't want it to be. If you watch the show long enough, if you know me, you know this is not what I want, right? This is not what I want to be watching. But we gotta fucking watch it.
Americans depend on. I've made abundantly clear from the very first day that I ran from office. That was a long time ago now. That's 2015. If you think about it, I announced in 2015 and we won in 2016. We did very well in 2020, but we did really well just recently. And I'm restating right now to correct any confusion that the media is purposely and somehow, for whatever reason, created Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid have not been affected by any action we're taking in any
wrong
way, shape, or form. We are merely looking at parts of the big bureaucracy where there has been tremendous waste and fraud and abuse. In that process, we identified and stopped.
The only abuse I see right now is the abuse on my eyes from that fucking hairdo. What is going on there? How is it fucking translucent? How is that fucking thing translucent? Oh, shit. Which reminds me. You see this? Hold on. Do you see this picture? I think Elon posted it. Right? Let me see if I can find it for you. Hold on. I might have to put Elon in it. He's on the plane. He sneaks a picture. Come on. I'm going to have to put on plane. Here it is. Hold on. Is this it? What is it? Why did it take me to here? What's this one? Hold on. Hold on. I gotta try to make it bigger for you. Can I do this? Fuck. No, it's this one. There you go. There you go. Look at that. It's fucking translucent. Where's the front of his hair? Oh shit. Oh shit. Here's fucking. What is this? What is this, dude? What is that? That is the largest forehead I've ever seen in my entire life. Shit, what the fuck is this? Websites are whack now, dude. You can't click on nothing. You can't show anything. All right, let's get back. Let's get back anyway. So it's just I saw that picture. I almost died. I almost died. What is going on there? Anyway, sorry.
$50 million being sent to Gaza to buy condoms for Hamas. 50 million. And you know what's happening?
I'm sorry, guys, but do you guys honestly, does anybody think that's real? Hold on. Let's go. Let's get that one more time. Let's get that one more time.
$50 million.
Hold on. All right, give it to us straight from the top.
We are merely looking at parts of the big bureaucracy where there has been tremendous waste and fraud and abuse.
Like what?
In that process, we identified and stopped $50 million being sent to Gaza to buy condoms for Hamas. 50.
Why would he say that? $50 million? $50 million. $50 million. Good Lord, that's a lot of money. Good Lord, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of fucking condoms. to strictly, I'm sorry. How many Hamas fighters are there? How many Hamas fighters are there? If you need to spend $50 million on rubbers, how many fucking militants are there? That's like, I don't even know how many fucking condoms I could buy, right? If you're buying them in bulk, what is it? 25 million fucking 25 million Hamas fighters that we don't know about? What a wild fucking statement. $50 million for condoms to Hamas. Oh, Jesus Christ. They don't have a fucking place to live, but boy, are they fucking. I know he's talking about a serious thing, but you cannot take this man seriously. Fucking, oh, it's beautiful.
Million. And you know what's happened to them? They've used them as a method of making bombs. How about that?
What? Condom bombs? Condom bombs? What? This is fucking too good. Hold on.
$1 billion being sent to Gaza to buy condoms for Hamas. 50 million. And you know what's happened to them? They've used them as a method of making bombs. How about
They weren't even for sex. They weren't even for sex. Has anybody seen Saving Private Ryan? Well, you've heard of the sticky bomb, right? Well, this gives a whole new meaning to the word sticky bomb. What can you fit in a condom? How much explosive could you put in a condom? Oh shit! Are they more effective if they are ribbed? I can't. Oh fucking hell! They're using them for $50 million for condoms, and they're using them for bombs. I can't even think of a way that you would do that. I know they're innovative, and I know they've, cutting up the pipes and using them for pipe bombs and shit. That I can see. That I can understand. The condom bombs is a new one. The condom bomb is a new one on me, guys. Fucking. All right. It can only get better. We're only 6 minutes into it. I thought I was going to finish it.
About that, we stopped an attempt to make an illicit payment for illegal alien resettlement. We canceled $181 million in DEI training contracts. This is just for the training of people in DEI, which has been terminated and completely terminated. And we paused $1.7 billion in unauthorized payments to foreign organizations, including stopping more than $40 million that was on its way out the door to the very corrupt World Health Organization,
United States,
which has not done its job and not done it properly. We also...
Have you ever seen a more miserable human being? Like, you would think that this guy would be fucking skipping to the podium, right? Floating on a fucking cloud to the podium. He's beaten all of his fucking cases. He's gotten into fucking office a second fucking time somehow. And yet he is still the most fucking miserable human being. Second to Stephen Miller on the face of the earth.
They call them dumps.
We also blocked $45 million for diversity scholarships in Burma. 45, that's a lot of money for diversity scholarships in Burma. You can imagine.
Although less money than we spent for condoms for Hamas.
Where that money went. These were the types of payments and many others. I could stand here all day and tell you things that we found, and we have to find them quickly because we want the money to flow to proper places. But these were the payments and types of payments affected by the temporary freeze, and the American people strongly support these efforts. I talked about it during the campaign.
Go fuck yourself.
And they voted for us in record numbers. Every single day, we're now putting America first and fighting to get the most out of every single tax dollar for our great citizens.
Fucking Nazis.
Gathered this afternoon to take another historic action. However, in a few moments, the Laken-Riley Act will become the very first bill that I proudly sign into law as the...
Oh, the first anti-immigration bill, again, signed by John Fetterman. And other Democrats, but Fetterman.
47th President of the United States.
Look at that look. Did anybody see that? Does that look like a fucking... look, what's this one? Ready? Yes. Just the epitome of happiness. What an alpha. What an alpha. What's the matter, Grandpa? Fucking cheer up. And just in case you wondered, the Laken-Riley Act, that's the one that like allows them to detain people for like shoplifting and without due cause, without the proper cause of the system that they have to go through, that just detain them real quick. Again, just more immigration policies. Just again, more Democrats siding with Republicans when they don't need to. But that's for another day.
Laken was a brilliant and beautiful 20.
All right, see if I can.
assaulted, beaten, brutalized, and murdered by an illegal alien gang
I'm
member
not going to sit.
who was
I
set
can't
loose
sit
into
there
our
while he
country by
talks.
the last
Get out of here.
administration. We are deeply honored.
I can't hear him talk like where he just like
And under the
when he
law,
talks
thank
about
you.
the
Under the law.
fucking- you know what I mean? When he gets up there and he just describes every detail of the fucking of the murder or the whatever the hell happens. Like, take it easy, dude. You're you're fucking president. Like, just little overview is all right, but you don't have to go into fucking huge detail to try to scare the shit out of everybody.
I'm signing today, the Department of Homeland Security will be required to detain all illegal aliens.
Now, is Dr. Phil an official member of ICE? No, has he officially been adopted by the by ICE and Border Patrol and Homeland Security? Just all of them? He's just in every single one of them now. What the fuck is Dr. Phil doing out there on these fucking kids? Get the fuck out of here.
Who have been arrested for theft, burglary, larceny, shop.
I'm sorry. What was that second one? What were they arrested for?
Who have been arrested for theft, burglary, larceny.
Burglary. Yep. Burglary. Hate fucking. You know what? I got a buddy that did 5 to 10 for burglary. You can also talk about the Hamburglar at McDonald's, but burglary it's one of the more one of the more known crimes around here. Basically, everybody does burglary. Burglary's big burglary.
Shoplifting, assaulting a police officer, murder.
Oh, and we know as we know, we don't like people that assault police officers, except for the ones that you pardoned for assaulting police officers on January 6th, right? So again, just the hypocrisies that we could point out in every single speech, which is why I do this, right? Because when he talks about defending police and talking about how bad people are when they would beat on a police officer, agreed. So why'd you let him out of fucking prison? Huh? Riddle me that one, Batman.
Or any crime that results in death or serious injury. In addition, for the first time ever, this act gives state governments the ability to sue the federal government for immediate injunctive relief if any future administration ever again refuses to enforce the immigration laws of the United States, like happened for 4 long years.
How many bills did Democrats try to pass enforcing more laws at the border? Some, again, we tried passing a border bill that I didn't even agree with some of it, right? But in an act of appeasement, right? And then what happened? This motherfucker decided to kill it. Did it hurt him in the election? I don't know how that shit doesn't hurt in the election. When he comes out and says, yes, blame me for killing the bill that I'm not in fucking government and I shouldn't have an effect on, but blame me for telling all the Republicans not to vote for this thing. But again, didn't seem to have any effect.
And that was happening for 4 long years, frightful years. Amazing. You'd say, how can people do this? How can they allow this to happen? How can they allow criminals to pour into our country and then try and defend it? And they're still trying to defend it, but they can't.
Because the fucking numbers are completely blown out of proportion by you and your asshole buddies, right? And the policies that you put in place actually hurt us in the long run and led to more encounters at the border by releasing these people over and over and over again. At least we were trying to enforce some sort of punishment, right? So that they wouldn't just be released and released and released and released so they could try again, thus creating more encounters, but it only being one person. See how that works? One person, many encounters. That's why they use the word encounters instead of, actual border crossings for different individuals.
That's why I'm here instead of somebody else, actually. It's the biggest reason. I believe it's the single biggest reason. Inflation was horrible. Many things were horrible during that administration.
Due to COVID that you fucked up. Again, I don't know how many times we have to go through this. You can talk about inflation. You could talk about the rise in, the price increases in pretty much everything in your daily lives, and you can attribute to every single one of them to something that took place in COVID. A factory shutting down, fucking materials coming from a different spot, thus increasing the price of them, right? So many different factors, almost all of them attributed to the huge global disruption known as fucking COVID that this man let get into this country and stay in this country for a very long time, even though it was only going to be 15 cases, even though the humidity was going to kill it, even though all you had to do was fucking stand in the shower on one leg, fucking picking your nose with the water at 121 degrees. And then it was bleach and disinfectant and fucking ivermectin and fucking the whole hydroxychloroquine, right? So let's not, I don't know why you'd want to get into that one.
When you look at what took place in Afghanistan, the way they got out, not that they got out, but the way so many things were horrible. But to me, this was the worst of all. It's a landmark law that we're doing today. It's going to save countless innocent American lives. I want to thank every House Republican, every Senate Republican, as well as the 12 Senate Democrats and the 48 House Democrats who voted to pass this vitally important bill, and many of them are with us today, and I really do appreciate it. And I very much especially appreciate the bipartisan support. The Democrats, really a big percentage of them came through, and plenty of them wanted to. They probably felt they couldn't, but they really wanted to. That they don't understand that would have made them a lot more popular, would have made them a lot better with their.
No, negative. Actually did pretty much the opposite to the ones that signed on. I can almost see the two Georgia representatives signing on to it, considering this took place in their state. I can almost see that, obviously, but as to the rest of them, no, you can get fucked. You can get fucked. Honestly, I'm done with it. I'm done with the okay, let's work together type of. No, fuck this. You know what I mean? Taking your hat in hand and you fucking in putting on your lipstick to go down and fucking shine and kiss Donald Trump's boots, to vote for the Lake and Riley Act, or to be the only fucking Democrat to vote with Republicans to support investigations into ICC investigators, right? I mean, so much that this guy is doing, and to try to legitimize it, which is exactly what is happening. When John Fetterman goes down to Mar-a-Lago, it's no different than Cenk Uygur going to fucking Turning Points USA to talk to Charlie Kirk, right? All it does is lend an air of legitimacy to these people. Oh, look it. It gives the opportunity for Donald to say, oh, look it. Even Democrats are willing to work with us, right? We got even fucking John Fetterman coming down to Mar-a-Lago to fucking kiss the ring and work with us, right? And I'm sorry, but I refuse to believe that John Fetterman has some fucking master plan he's putting in place, that he's playing some fucking 4D chess with Donald Trump to manipulate him into doing what? I don't know. Like I said, if this was paired with some sort of messaging and policy changes from fucking Fetterman, from some act of aggression towards either Trump's nominees, which he fucking mealy mouthed Pete Hegseth in his interview fucking was asked a specific question about Democrats, went on to praise Donald Trump's fucking political prowess, right? Doesn't sound like it doesn't sound like a fucking game of chess to me. It doesn't sound like he has some fucking master plan of manipulating Donald Trump because his mind's mush, right? Donald Trump is still surrounded by very competent, younger, fucking more dangerous, more devious people that actually have plans and policies that they're trying to push, that are fucking that are pushing this fucking muppet around, right? So you can get one over on Donald Trump all you like, but guess what? You're not getting one over on the fucking people he's got surrounded with him. He's got a lot more of them this time. They're in a lot fucking higher positions this time. Some of the fucking highest positions, the most important positions on the face of this fucking planet, right? So it's not just Donald Trump. It's not just Donald Trump that we're worried about. It's actually less and less becoming Donald Trump that we're worried about, considering he is such a fucking mealy mouth, fucking mush face, fucking, you literally can see the brain oozing out of his ears at some point. But it's not him that I'm worried about. So again, kissing his ass and trying to placate him. Again, it's not worth it for whatever you think you're gonna get. Trying to work with a man as he's stripping women of all their rights, right? As he's deporting American citizens, as he's rounding up fucking United States veterans, as he's causing a fucking a farming crisis, as he's causing food prices to skyrocket, right? Plane helicopter collide while landing at Reagan Washington Airport. Well, good golly, Miss Molly. Let's see here. We got about 9 minutes. Should we go out in some breaking news? Should we go out in some breaking news at least? Thank you for the people that stuck around. I know not many people. I know not many people stuck around for the 3 attempts at going live tonight, but I do appreciate the people that did. It always screws you when you have to start over again. You never get as many people back. But thank you. Make sure you're hitting the like button, please, if you're watching now. If you're coming from Jesse Dollamore's channel, if you're new from Hal Sparks' channel, both of whom you should be watching regularly, I really, really appreciate you coming and listening. And I promise there's usually not this many tech issues, right? It's usually not this goofy and disjointed and discombobulated. I promise. I promise. But it just, sometimes you deal with the issues. You can only take it as it comes. All right, so let me see if I can pull this up. A little breaking news to go, and then I'll thank everybody for their super chats, which there are a lot. Thank you guys for everybody that's contributed. You guys are fucking amazing. You really are amazing. Thank you guys for every $1, $2, $10, $20 that you guys pitch in. I really can't tell you how much, because the channel is growing and growing. Like, you know, it's becoming a more real possibility of making this an actual thing, right? If you catch my flow. So please continue to support the channel if you can. If you cannot, if you're not in the financial position to do so, do not do anything that costs money. Don't fucking do it. Only if you're in the position to do so. If not, you can like, share, subscribe, comment, right? Comment in the chat, and then again, when the video is up, you can leave a still comment, right? That's not in the live chat, just a comment that stays there. Pop in there, throw me a comment, tell me what you think I can do better, tell me what you liked, tell me what you disliked, throw emojis in the chat. Mel spent a lot of time making those. I really, really do appreciate you guys. So again, everybody that's contributed, I will recognize you at the end of the channel, at the end of the show. But let me end the show. We'll end the show on a little bit of breaking news. What channel is that, Mel? WALTV. Let's see. Plane crash should come up, right? Excuse me. 2 hours ago, 6 minutes ago. Oh, it's an Army at Blackhawk too, huh? Share this tab instead. Can you see it? Yes, you can. American Airlines jet collides with Army Blackhawk near Reagan Airport. Oh, shit. It was a fucking... What we know here, passenger aircraft carrying 64 people collided with a U.S. Army Blackhawk helicopter near Reagan National Airport outside of Washington, D.C. as it approached the runway, according to the Federal Aviation Administration and defense officials. There are no confirmed casualties at this time. Really? According to the Metropolitan Police Department, a massive emergency response is underway in D.C.'s Potomac River, where the passenger plane and helicopter collided. The plane, American Airlines Flight 5342, with 60 passengers and 4 crew members on board, had departing from Wichita, Kansas, according to the airline. 3 soldiers were on board the helicopter, according to the U.S. defense official. All takeoff and landings have been halted at Reagan National Airport. Let's see if we can pop in here live. Well, we get the spinning wheel of death all night tonight. That's just. I'm gonna go to bed with that in my thoughts. Any day now.
A grim term.
There we go.
The rules, as they say at the FAA, are written in blood. And the idea here is that each time these things happen, you learn from it and try to make it safer. And the fact that it has been 16 years since there has been a fatality in a commercial airliner in the United States isn't.
So am I right to think that it's like it's only a matter of time before casualties are reported? I mean, because it seems really strange not to have any casualties with a plane with a plane crash, right?
An extraordinary record when you consider what I was just talking about, the complicated spaces in which all these aircraft fly, the limitations of the sizes of the airports, the strain on the air traffic control system, the lack of personnel that ATC
Was that a
has,
plane that just
the long
hold on?
shifts that they do.
Mel's giving me information.
It's
Rescue
extraordinary
teams.
how well it
Sorry,
works,
let me hold on.
actually.
Rescue teams are searching for as many as 60 people in the river as the commercial plane crash. Oh, I see. Right. So it's one of those where they haven't been reported yet. I'm not gonna lie, this is a fucking horrible view.
Move locations. We're now at the Dangerfield Marina, which is just south of Reagan National Airport. We're by the water. We can get a bit of a better vantage point to the scene of the accident there. We're going to pan to the right. David Brooks, my photojournalist, is going to show you the activity there. That seems to be where the activity is concentrated on the water. Now, just across, we're on the Virginia side. Just across the water from us is Joint Base Anacostia Bowling. That is an Air Force base that is just across the river there. That appears to be the area of the water where this crash occurred. Now, from what we know now, it does not relate necessarily to the base itself, this accident. What we're told by a U.S. defense official is that this was an Army Black Hawk helicopter out of Fort Belvoir, Virginia, that had a crew of 3 people on board. American Airlines has told CNN that the passenger plane that collided with that helicopter had 60 people on board and a crew of 4. Some additional information our colleague Gabe Cohen has from a law enforcement source that they are basically, they have every available agency working on search and rescue operations right now in this area behind me. That source telling Gabe Cohen that basically they are painting a grim picture of what they're seeing, but they don't have any word on casualties yet.
Brian, we just saw on the camera some aircrafts in the sky. Can you give us a sense of what kind of activity you're seeing?
I was thinking that too, because I can see the planes in the
Water
sky.
and what is on land from what you can see?
From what we can see, Abby, we can see 2 aircraft in the skies. There is one, what appears to be a helicopter to our right, hovering over the area. There's another helicopter just in the foreground above me right here. Only 2 aircraft in the skies at this time. There is much more activity itself. Again, where those flashing lights are, you can imagine there must be dozens of boats in the water, dive teams, rescuers. There is no other commercial aircraft, of course, because there is a ground.
I'm just trying to think of why would the Black Hawk, how would they not be in communication? You know what I mean? That's strange to me.
To the left that David can show you. That appears to be a staging area at Reagan National Airport. That's the end of the runway at Reagan National Airport, staging boats and other craft to go, I guess, across the river and elsewhere. But we do believe from the vantage point that we have now, again, we believe that area to the right is at least near where the accident occurred.
And it certainly seems like they have large lights that are peering into the water to that area to your right. That seems to be where they are searching, right, Brian?
That's correct, Abby. Yes, that does seem to be the area.
This is supposed to be
to this breaking news that we have just started to cover, which is a plane crash in Washington, D.C. We have a little bit more information than we previously had just moments ago when I first brought you news of this crash. These are still preliminary reports, but this is a serious incident. What we believe has happened here, again, according to preliminary reports, is that there has been a collision between an American Airlines regional jet, so a passenger plane, that was flying into DCA, flying into Reagan National Airport in Washington, D.C., the flight originated apparently in Wichita, Kansas. The collision was reportedly with a Black Hawk helicopter. be taking off in the foreground. You see there, that's the thing that's brightest. But then below it is where you see two smaller lights effectively come together. They're at a relatively low altitude.
Oh,
compared to
wow,
other
you
things
can see
You've
it there.
got
Hold on.
a little context there.
Let me play that again. See, you can see right. Checking this area right here when it comes up again. Right here where my mouse is. And then they'll zoom in on this next one. Here's the helicopter's right here. You can see it flying in, flying in, flying in, flying in. Boom. Can't tell if they go down over water or if they go down over land. Looks like you can see in this area them trying to play it here. You can see the helicopter again coming in, coming in, coming in, coming in, coming in, coming in. Boom. Jesus Christ. I mean, I guess we're lucky it wasn't a 400 passenger airliner. If we're looking at any of the bright side, hopefully they managed to pick some of these people up out of the river. Just again, always breaking news on Blunt Politics, whether it's Biden announcing something, fucking something always happens. Something always happens.
To be an all hands on deck emergency. The priority is to let's hope there are survivors, get people out of this icy water as fast as possible. But if it's in the middle of the river, that really is, and of course the river is moving. They need to try to get that, whatever.
If you look on the right side, though, it doesn't look like there's much activity in the river, right? Unless it's just kind of too dark to see. Let me make this. I'll put it on the full screen for you guys so you can see it a little better. Now they're giving the full shot. See, doesn't look to me like there's too much activity in the river itself. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, all right. Here's some patrol boats. I see some patrol boats here. Not a ton, though, right? Am I crazy? I see one, two. Don't see many other patrol boats out there, which is, I guess, a little strange. Right? Maybe they're just trying to come on, getting on scene a little late. I'm not sure. You would think if there's like a huge rescue operation of, 60 people in the river, you'd have. I'm crazy? Why am I crazy? I'm crazy to think there should be more than two boats. I don't know. Just my thought. But we wish the best for anybody involved in this. Hopefully they manage to, like the gentleman said, pull some people out of the water and get some survivors in this. But, obviously a tragic situation. Nothing that we like to see. But yeah, like we said, hopefully as many people as possible can be rescued from that situation. But thank you guys for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Now is the time of the show where we recognize everybody that contributed, anybody that sent a super chat or a super sticker. Obviously, this is on Facebook. Thank you to the people that contributed. This is on YouTube. Thank you to the people that contributed on Facebook. Thank you to all the Twitchies out there. I really do appreciate you guys. We're trying to grow our numbers on those platforms too. So if you have Twitch or if you have Facebook or if you have Instagram as well, make sure you're following Blunt Politics on there. I would really, really appreciate it. That would be fantastic if you could do so. But yeah, let's get into some of the super chats for you guys. A buck and a reboot. Let's go. Bust a buck and try your luck. What's up, Nick? How are you, sir? How's everything? I appreciate that you can join me on Wednesdays. I know Sundays are tough for you with you and the fam. And yes, I do remember. But thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you. Everybody's giving me money for the reboot, right? I wasn't lying, right? When I say that, I think I'm overdoing the capabilities of this laptop as integral as it's been in building this channel. And as appreciative as I am for the people that made it possible, OG Adam, Carl Smith, I really appreciate you guys. I think it's, I think I'm stretching it to its limits. Basically, that's all. I'm just doing too much. RFK got destroyed. He did, Sheldon. I was gonna play a few clips of that. Obviously, we ran out of time. I'm sorry about the problems there, but I'm sure a lot of other channels are covering that same thing. So you can find clips pretty much everywhere. Senator Whitehouse did a very good job. Again, Elizabeth Warren did a very good job. Let's see here. There was a few of them. Let's see. The Senator Wyden is his name. He did a very good job at coming at RFK Jr. So if you haven't checked that out, check out a few clips of that. It would be very beneficial. It shows you a lot about how vapid in conspiracy theory laden and not fit for the job RFK Jr. really is. So I appreciate you, Sheldon. Thank you so much for contributing. Let's see here. Independent became a new member. You can also become a new member just below me for $1.99 a month. I honestly, I've looked around for things that you could buy for $1.99, and there's nothing. There's you can't. Maybe a couple Tic Tacs, you'd be all set. But thank you, Independent, for setting the trend. And again, for $1.99 a month, the best way to help the channel. And also patreon.com for as little as $5 a month. I really do appreciate it. Jenny Faye, RFK was snotty, tearing up Grossmass. Has anyone seen him and think, yep, he's our guy? No way he could be in charge of anything health related except for maybe tissue disbursement. Thank you, Jenny Faye. Appreciate you. Thank you for putting in your 2 cents. I always appreciate it. Susie Jones been here for a month. Let's go. I really dig being a Bryantologist. Well, thank you, Susie. I appreciate you guys being here in the Church of Bryantology. You Bryantologists are following the trend that we have set of resistance, of not capitulating, of not complying in advance, of calling out anybody that does. I recognize that Donald Trump and his administration are the single biggest threat that we face right now, and I plan on calling out everything, but that does not mean that we can't hold our own accountable as well. And I just refuse to believe there's some master plan being put in place by the people that are capitulating, that are somehow getting something on the back end that is going to override and overshadow the destruction that Donald Trump is now putting in place, until maybe I would love to be proven wrong. But until that day where I see such things as these people coming out forcefully against Donald Trump's policies, then I'm going to continue to call these people out. But thank you, Susie. I really appreciate you being here at the Church of Bryantology. Let's see here. Rachel, thank you so much. Were you a fan of the Ken, and Ken show? R.I.P. MJB. Ken, and Ken show. Let's see here. I don't like not knowing things. Ken and Ken show. I'm just looking up a picture. Sometimes I don't. No. Nothing that. Wait a minute. Is that Michael Brooks? Is that a young Sam Sita that I'm looking at? What the fuck? Wait a minute. There's no way that looks just like Sam Sita. Is that Sam Sita? It is. God, hold on. Time out, Rachel. Ready? Where is he? This one? Look at this.
I don't even know how to respond to this. Here is Bill Weld spinning lies. He's like a total Hillary agent from day one.
Dr. Comey has broken the law in getting out ahead of this.
Oh man! All
No,
right, so,
I
yes,
don't know that I would say that,
that
but I
was
do
great.
think if
And
he
Michael Brooks
continues,
is.
and if
I
it's a, a
loved
press
Michael Brooks so
conference,
much.
Hold
he's
on.
forward.
So if we don't know something, we have to shut our mouths. So we have to know the world, all the information in the world to be able to talk. I don't understand.
But this is how they
The
think.
emails exist. Computers exist. She had a private server in her bathroom. Why? What was she doing in the bathroom? Most people go in to read, but she goes in the bathroom. She's playing with her server, and then
He's got the classic Saturday fucking men's pickup basketball outfit on. right? The classic Boston men's pickup basketball league outfit. I do miss Michael Brooks. I miss Michael Brooks a lot. He was absolutely fantastic. And again, another big influence in my political views and my decision to get involved in politics. So, yes, Michael was somebody I looked up to a lot. Brilliant. Always went right after people. Never afraid to call them out. His impressions were spot on. So yeah, rest in peace, Michael. So that's who you were talking about, Rachel. I apologize for not recognizing the MJB right off the bat, but thank you for showing me this. This is fucking fantastic. I have not seen these things, but Sam Cedar's fucking Boston accent coming back is a fucking cool thing to see. I like it. Plus, anytime I get to see or hear some Michael Brooks, every now and again I'll go back and watch an old Majority Report episode with him on it, and when they used to do their back and forth. So, but yeah, thank you, Rachel. I appreciate it. Let me see if I can stop this now. Get back to where I was. All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Where were we? Lizzie Dog coming in huge. I'm waiting any moment for my veteran disability benefits to be gone. Any moment. Love you, BB. Watching you a long time. Appreciate your voice. Congrats on 10K. Right back at you, Lizzie. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for that amazing $50 contribution to the channel. I mean, just I can't tell you what a huge help things like that are, and it really keeps it going. And it really, for shows that sometimes you don't have as much interaction. Sometimes these Wednesday night shows, again, we're still trying to get the Wednesday night show going, and it doesn't help when you have to start 4 times. But just like Sundays, it was a little slow to get going, and that picked up. I have no doubts that the more people that hear about it, the more people that start watching, we'll get more people around. I'm not worried about it. But thank you, Lizzie Dog. Thank you so much for sticking around and being here for a while. I really do appreciate that. Josh Jameson, how are you? Hal said Caroline Levitt is Sean Spicer in drag. He's great at those little zingers. But thank you, Josh. I appreciate the $5 donation to the channel. You are, again, one of the longtime listeners, and I really do appreciate you, bud. Slacks, what's up, brother? Right back at you, dude. Slavu Ukraini. Hopefully it's almost motorcycle time for you. I know you're probably itching to get back on the hog, so hopefully you get some nice weather coming in here pretty soon. But it is supposed to get cold, so maybe not. Patrick, thank you so much. Patrick's here almost every show. I really do appreciate you, dude. I appreciate the 5 gifted memberships, and everybody that does get a membership gifted to you. Make sure you're thanking the person that does gift the membership to you, because they're obviously coming out of pocket for that. And again, if you find yourself still watching the channel after your 1 month membership is up, another $1.99 probably won't kill you. Hopefully it won't. Feel free to hop along and stick with us for as long as you possibly can. George, thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. Let's fucking go, dude. I like your horns too. What do you got? Horns in there? Or those antlers? Is that a Christmas picture? Progressive Independent, thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. I really do appreciate it. The more the merrier. Like I said, YouTube member, $1.99 above below me is easily by far and in a way one of the 2 or 3 best ways you can help the channel. So thank you very much, Progressively Independent. I appreciate you, dude, and I appreciate your involvement in this fight. So let's go. Josh says, did you watch Trump's latest disaster speech after all the chaos came out? Was that the one that we just watched, Josh? Or because he had one before that was hilarious too. But again, there's just not enough time in the show to cover it all. But if it was that one, I saw, hand up. I did see the clip of him talking about the condoms, right? I did not in the clip see that he talked about the condoms actually being used as bombs. I can't get over that. How are you going to use a rubber as a bomb? Oh, jeez. Just that cracks me up. But thank you so much, Josh, for the contribution to the channel. I really appreciate you as always. Alex H, thank you so much. Says keep up the great job. Well, you guys obviously are a huge part of the fight, are a huge part of the reason that anybody on this channel, on anybody on YouTube gets to do this. So you guys are doing the great job of continuing the fight and continuing the support of channels like this. So Alex, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Becky, let's go. Oh my God. Gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Becky, for the 5 gifted. Make sure, again, if you're getting memberships gifted to you, the nice and respectful thing to do is to thank the person, to show some appreciation. Not going to kill you. Thank you, Becky. Really do appreciate it. Yvonne, Kush Queen, let's go. Boston, hey there, honey. How are you? Knuckles, Fight, 100, hot. Praying emoji. I've sent you emails about Elon Musk. It's very revealing. Knowledge is power. You've sent me. You know what the problem is, Yvonne, is that's the way that I like send myself clips or stuff that I want to talk about on the show. So then I end up sending myself so much that I bury any other emails that I get in there. So that's my fault. Never been good at the whole email thing anyway. So I apologize. I'll have to check those out. They're not being ignored, I promise. Let's see. Rachel's back. Thank you for another $2, Rachel. I appreciate that. Working class solidarity, middle class aspiration. Right. Let's say. Oh, one of the things that I liked when Joe Biden was saying is how we grow from the fucking middle out, right? We grow from the middle out. If you have a strong middle class, if you have a fucking, a middle class that's doing really well, that inevitably lifts up the people not only below them, but impacts and affects and the people up at the highest levels also profit from it. Again, more money flowing through economy, right? More people shopping, more people getting groceries, more people driving, getting gas, buying cars, right? Buying houses, buying stuff for the houses, right? That's how we get the economy moving, not by fucking giving tax breaks to the wealthiest people in this country or shitting on labor unions and trying to crush those, like Amazon, Cenk Uygur, right? We don't do that. That's not what we do. So thank you so much, Rachel. I appreciate it. Yvonne, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. You're wonderful. You guys are just fantastic. I appreciate you guys. How, like I said, supportive and active you guys are in this community really is a sight to behold. So thank you, Yvonne, again for the 5 gifted. Let's see here. Jenny Faye, always talk to you, Mom. I miss mine every day. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Again. It's terrible. But again, I appreciate you recognizing and excusing me for answering the phone during the stream. I appreciate it. And again, my heart goes out to you. Jesus Christ. Hey, did you notice how I said my heart goes out to you and I didn't have to do a fucking click my heels, Heil, Sig Heil, right? That wasn't that hard. I just said my heart goes out to you and I didn't have to click my heels and do a Sig Heil. But thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate you. Jeff Miller, thank you for the 10. Bri, your ma raised you good, kid. Not going to say which one. Oh, that's funny. Well, it could have been. I have a brother and a sister, so could be either one of us. If there's only one, I don't know if it's me. I'm not gonna lie. Probably not me. But thank you so much for the 10, Jeff. I appreciate it. Hope you have a wonderful night, dude. JD, thank you for the 20. Let's fucking go. Haven't heard you swear once, Boston Brian. No profanity bonus. I just swore as I'm reading it. What an asshole. What an asshole. Thank you, JD. I appreciate you, brother. Let's see here. Just because you don't see me doesn't mean I'm not here. Stay strong and power on. Love y'all. Thank you, Benny Loco. Appreciate you. I hope you're having a wonderful night. I very much appreciate your support. I appreciate you being here. People should always check out the 21st Century Suffragettes, Benny Loco, Diane, 5 Eggs, the whole crew. I know Diane does some guitarro, playing the toca la guitarro. And she's very good at it. She's very good at it. So there's a couple nights, I believe, where she has where it's a non-political stream where you can get some stress relief off there, listening to some music. So make sure you're checking out them. They're fantastic too. And women's voice are becoming ever increasingly more important in this space. So JD, again, thank you for the 13 extra profanity bonus for Midas Mel. Yes. We're a good match in that regard. We're a good match in that regard. Neither one of us hold back very much. Oh my God. Thank you, Ricky, for the 10 gifted. So much. Bless you. Oh, I should probably take off the breaking news. I'm not scaring people to death. Sorry. But JD, again, thank you so much. And Ricky, thank you so much for the 10 gifted. What a blessing it is to have people so supportive like you guys. It really is. Anastasia, thank you for gifting 1 membership. JD, again, gifting 5 more memberships. Let's fucking go. Big day for JD. Appreciate you guys. Jenny Faye's back at it. Hate to be a joy killer. Did you see the plane crash, Brian? Oh, there you go. There we go. That's where we got it. That's where we got it. I appreciate you. I appreciate you filling us in on the breaking news. And Anastasia became a new YouTube member. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. Once again, I'm over time, as usual. Again, I'm so sorry for the tech issues. I just honestly, I think you can understand how it would be difficult to do an entire 2-hour show while you're constantly hearing a loop back of everything you're saying or playing. So nothing really much until I get like a license in fucking in tech. The only thing I could do is refresh. So thank you guys for sticking with me. I really appreciate it. What would be really fantastic, again, if you could drop some emojis in the chat, leave a comment after the video is posted, and then if you could share this out, because like I said, we lost a few viewers in our battle in our battle for audio, let's just say. But again, I will see you guys Sunday. Let's see, do we have any guests coming up? I don't know if I have any guests scheduled. But we're going to try to reach out to a few people and see if we can get some more fantastic voices on the show for you guys. I'm sure we're going to have a lot to talk about. There's a lot that I didn't get to talk about tonight. There's a lot that I didn't get to talk about last week. So maybe Sunday we'll get will be a chance to get caught up. Hopefully there's no huge drama and like just pages of fucking news from now until then. Let's give me one of the, oh, thank you so much, Jamie. Jamie just gave me $10 on Venmo. That's very nice of you, Jamie. Thank you so much. That is extremely nice. And the Venmo is right here up in the corner. All you got to do is take a picture of it with your phone, send a buck or two. It helps. Every little bit helps. And again, if you're not in the financial position to do so, then don't. Pretty simple. Not that hard. But I'm going to let you go. I appreciate it. You guys are fantastic. I appreciate the support as always. And make sure you're checking me out Sundays at 1 o'clock. That's 1 o'clock Eastern on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram. Make sure you're checking out Hal's show, 12 p.m. In the afternoon and 6 p.m. Eastern at night. Make sure you're checking out Jesse Dollamore. Make sure you're checking out Brittany Page. Make sure you're checking out the Vanguard. Again, shout out to the Vanguard boys for dropping in here in the chat earlier. Really do appreciate that. And who else? There's a lot of other good people out there. Like I said, Pondering Politics. Let's see, the Rational National, Kyle Kalinske. Let's see here. A lot of good people. I don't feel like I'm leaving anybody out. But again, make sure if you're really, really engaged in politics that you're watching people that support our progressive values and beliefs and ideals and principles. Again. We'll strengthen this community and build a stronger coalition to combat the bullshit that we're about to feel and see in the next 4 years. All right. So I will see you guys Sunday. Make sure you're tuning in. I appreciate it. I'm Boston Brian. This is Blunt Politics. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. Subscribe on the way out. I appreciate you guys. Until next time, see ya.
public documents where the elite said they were going to enslave us and destroy America. And I'm not going to be like yuppies come and deny the threat to my country. I'm going to fight back.
Is there anything worse than white people? White people are a mortal danger to you and your loved ones.
Obama.
They call them dumps, big, massive dumps.
Mud. I said crud. You calling this some crud or something?
Bad news, bad news. Even when it's good news, it's bad news.
Tell the director to call the White House. Do your fucking job! Taking it back to Nevada where he's wanted for banging horses. Get off my plane. My superpower's being honest. I will eat my neighbors.
Or go fuck yourself.